Welcome all to NFL Pub Hub. It is the conference finals. Games don't get bigger than this. Who will meet in the Super Bowl? We have 15 cappers on deck waiting to deliver the goods. And my God, have some of these cappers been spectacular of late. Great to have all you guys in the chat. Justin McKelvey. Justice Hill over 59.5 rush and receiving yards plus 150 is the stacks play of the day. We got Brian Watson, Red Girl, the Nuke Worker, Doug, Birdie in the chat. How phenomenal was Birdie last week? Birdie delivered the single finest performance in the 3-year history of NFL Pub Hub last week. A lot of us were going off about Sean Higgs picking up 15.3 units on the Lamar Jackson props on the Ravens game, and Birdie comes in and picks up 12.85 units overall, which beat Sean Higgs's weekly score by 0.99 units. Birdie in the chat and ready to rock with us. There's Nasty Nate in the house saying Ravens smash, real deal prime. Bo Jackson, so let's go Chiefs and Niners. Cody Norton says, can I get your quick thoughts on the Kings of Blues today? Cody, it wouldn't be quick. It wouldn't be quick. That is the problem. The Kings would send me into a horrific, depressing, medieval Shakespearean monologue. I was a little surprised to see the minus 160, but I was very surprised to see the minus 160. I mean, the books are telling you that the Kings are going to bounce back, but haven't they been telling us that for 3 weeks? Subhuman Gaucho in the house. There's Troy Torrance. He will be a part of our live streams this evening, and he has delivered his goods. They're up on Twitter. Harold Williams, and of course on our Bankroll Blitz videos. Serious business in the house. There's my guy Coin, ready to rock and roll with us. It's great to see all of you guys. This is our show for today. We have Bobano hitting leadoff, but he better be there. He is. He's right there. Bobano hitting leadoff. Then Birdie Betts is coming in. Then Getting Bills. Billy Brisbane, Jose Bouquet. We have Guns Picks. We have Clint, star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, Picks from Dave, Ramon Scott Media. We have Dabby Cap, Mr. Sean Higgs, Nicholas Earl, Dutch Boy Fresh. I have just received word that Mills, star of the MMA Locker Room and our MMA videos on our YouTube page, will be rolling with us. So yes, Jose, get him ready late in the show because we did have a cancellation. Peter Loshak can't be with us. He is sick. So if we could get him ready to go late, and we can figure out when that will work. Then Dutch Boy Fresh is joining us. And then closing up the show, celebrating his birthday, the Big Ragu will be joining with us as well. Jim Bean in the house, Bo Jackson, Robert Franklin. Bo Jackson saying only taking Ravens in the first quarter and first half today. Look, I can understand that look. I have 5 bets placed pregame. I have 2 SGPs. I have 1 for each game for our live streams. My action, I made all the bets on Tuesday. Ravens double result at plus 105. Ravens minus 3.5 and minus 115. Kansas City, Baltimore under 44.5 minus 105. And Detroit, San Francisco under 51. That one's gone away from me. That's at 52. We'll talk about all of the line movements and where the cash is. And then today I added the 49ers double result. I could have bet it last night at minus 130. I was just deciding how much I was going to bet on it. And I was like, you know what? Go to sleep, wake up, and decide how much you're going to bet on it. Then I woke up and I looked, it was minus 25. I was like, oh, look, I gained 5 cents. Great. And then I went to bet it. Maybe 15 minutes later, it was minus 134. So that was a little disappointing, but I just added a little ends to the action here. So we have a huge show for you guys. I'm so excited to rock with you guys throughout the day. So here we have NFL Pub Hub with 15 cappers. We have our live stream for the Giant Chiefs Ravens game right after this. And then right after that, we have the Giant live stream for Lions 49ers. So it's extremely exciting times here. Let me just get the Action Network up here so I can talk about where the public is moving. Although we do know at this point that there is a concern for the books about the Ravens cashing. We've seen the line move pretty briskly in the Ravens direction as of the last 48 hours. And now there is word out that the books would be hurt if the Ravens take care of business today. There's Jim W. Putt in the house. Harold Williams ready to go. Tacky JP, the Futon Bets. We got CBF ready to go. Big Show Picks says, I'm writing down everyone on the 49ers today just so I know who to unfollow later. Go Chiefs, go Lions. Big Show, we need you. And I messaged you. You can unfollow me. I get it, but we need you on the live stream. You can unfollow me, but you can't stop being my friend. Okay, let's roll. Let's bring on our first guest here. And, my dude, those aren't the right stats, my friend. We'll go over the points that were scored. 5 games were played outside of a dome for the Lions this season. But we'll go over all those stats. Let's bring on your first guest. And he has gone from 26th place in NFL Pub Hub to 5th place in NFL Pub Hub. He is last year's champion. The work he has done on this show. I mean, we all believe in him. So we kept putting him out there, right? Right after the beginning of the year, a tough start to the year, we kept putting him out there. And now he is in the top 5. His playoff performance here has been very, very strong. We've had in the wild card and the divisionals, he's gone 21-18, but he is up over 7 units on 21-18, finding those big plus lines. Please welcome to the show from Canada's Black and Yellow, hitting leadoff for the conference championship, Mr. Ian Cameron to the show. Bobano, how are you, my friend?
I like the way you said that. We'll keep putting them out there. Eventually, you won't screw it up. I love it. What do you think? How are you?
I'm great, man. It's great to see you. I can't wait to rock with you, and I've been extremely impressed in what you've done here on the season. It's not. I mean, of course, it's difficult to succeed all season long. I'm not saying that that's easy or anything, but I do believe that it's more difficult to dig yourself a huge hole and have the wherewithal and the confidence to climb out of it. And that's what you've done here. Currently in 5th place, last year's champion Bobano, rolling with us right now. Bobano, let's get to work. We start at 3 p.m. Eastern. Every capper on the show will talk about each game, but I'm only going to give a setup for the games with Bobano. AFC Championship here, the Kansas City Chiefs 13-6, 7-2 on the road at the Baltimore Ravens 14-4, 7-3 at home at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. As I said off the beginning of our Tuesday show, the reports of rain are not on every site. And would I be surprised if there's just a tiny, tiny bit of rain? That's what I've been saying the whole time. The precipitation on my main weather site at kickoff is 20%. So I'm not sold on this. I'm also not sold on these 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I have 9 miles per hour to start the game. So I'm not
going into today thinking weather won't be an issue with either.
I'm as well. Now, there could be light rain. There could be a whole bunch of things, but that is my expectation at this point. Let's go over the line history here. We're going to use Pinnacle line movements. Pinnacle has moved it to 4.5. They moved it to 4.5 at 9:52 this morning. I was interested that they were the only book to not go to 4.5. That has changed. They are at 4.5 right now, and it is minus 101, almost no vig for the Ravens at the 4.5 number. This opened up at 3.5, and when it opened up at 3.5, the Ravens were plus 104, and they got to plus 107. Do you know that there was a time here where the Ravens were plus 110 at 3.5, and the Chiefs plus 3.5 were minus 121. So now we have 4.5 point favorites for the Ravens, a legitimate move over towards them. We've also had a late move towards the under, which is, sort of abnormal for these standalone games. This opened up at 44.5. I got in on it. It dropped to 44 early in the week. On Tuesday, it got back to 44.5, and it stayed there until 9:45 this morning when it dropped back to 44. Not only that, but it is juiced to the under at 44, which means that we could be seeing 43.5s here very soon. From a cash flow standpoint, you have 56% of the tickets, 65% of the cash. Now, 6 on the Ravens at the 4.5, or on the spread, and that is a little more important than usual because we have 500,000 bets in. This isn't a $150,000, $200,000 200,000 ticket game. We have 500. We'll probably get up to $1 million. From a total standpoint here, we have 47% of the tickets and 62% of cash on the under, right in my wheelhouse here. It is great to see all of you guys in the chat. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to set a quick table for Bobano in Chiefs Ravens, the way I see it, and then we'll hear the way he sees it. Joe Thuney is out for the Chiefs. That is a big loss, their star guard. The way I see it is this simple. And we know there's a lot of people who are heavy believers in the Chiefs. We've heard that throughout my shows all week. Believers in the Chiefs who have been calling out the Ravens backers as squares, as idiots, as going off. And it's funny because you don't hear the Ravens backers say that. The Ravens backers will come to you with analysis and statistics. The Chiefs have the experience. They have the stars. They have the trends as underdogs. But I don't believe they have the team. And that's why I cashed on the Chiefs against the Fish. I cashed on the Chiefs against the Bills. I had planned on being on the Chiefs against the Ravens, but then I capped it. Now, there's a magic to Mahomes and the Chiefs that can take over. But the Chiefs' offense is ranked 19th in the NFL in the red zone. Their run defense is ranked 30th in rush EPA per play, including the playoffs. They rank 25th in opponent yards per carry. The Ravens are the best running team in the league. This is the first time they've hosted the AFC title game in Baltimore since 1971. And Lamar Jackson has matured. He became the first quarterback in NFL history with at least 2 touchdown passes, 2 TD runs, 100 yards rushing, 100 passer rating last game. His star tight end Mark Andrews returns. The Ravens defense is excellent. Number 2 in EPA allowed per play, number 1 in defensive DVOA per play. And this is the number 1 pass rush in the league. I'm on the Ravens, and I don't think it will be that close. Take it away for us, Bobano, Chiefs Ravens.
Yeah, this is, and you would have thought, there'd be a lot more public adulation and interest in Kansas City in this game, knowing that they're the team that's now in their 6th straight AFC championship game, all the Super Bowls. Lamar's never, won a game of this magnitude yet. Last week, I guess, was a start for him, but, you go from a very young Houston Texans team, rookie quarterback, rookie head coach to this. It's a big step up for Baltimore. There's no question about that. But everything you said, I agree with. I just look at Kansas City and I measure, okay, quarterback is definitely, I'd take Patrick Mahomes over Lamar Jackson. There's no question about that. And unfortunately, that's the one position where if you're better, you can win. Doesn't matter what the case is elsewhere. But offensive line, I'd rather have Baltimore. D-line, I'd rather have Baltimore. Most of those linebackers secondary, I think I'd give the Ravens an edge. You look at the other position groups, certainly receiver, I would give the edge to Baltimore. Tight end, with Kelsey playing better, that's pretty close. But now that you got a healthy dynamic duo with Likely and Mark Andrews back, hard to contend with that right now for Baltimore. So I just look at it, and Kansas City, God love them for getting this far. Beating Miami, beating Buffalo. Let's keep in mind, though, with that Bills win, a coin flip, a play here and there, and Kansas City loses that game last week. Let's be honest. That was not a situation where it was just, wow, Chiefs were certainly the right side, the clear right side in that game. Not the case, in my opinion. I just think when you look at the Thuney injury matters. I think the fact that now they're going on the road for the 2nd straight week matters. The 3rd straight week they've played, in the postseason, where I think that bye week that Baltimore had, this is where it kicks in, that they had that week off before last week against Houston. And I think this is the week where I think they get all kinds of, momentum from that, extra, the extra rest should help. And I think Andrews being on the field and having that 2 tight end set could really be something that's problematic here for Kansas City. Plus, Kansas City's run defense is horrible. Okay. And Baltimore is more of an offense that's going to run. Lamar is going to run, and we saw that last week, which goes to maybe my favorite prop of this entire day from this game, and I'll get to it in a moment. But I'm with you. I like Baltimore. Now, good news is Bet99 still has a 3.5. There's not many anymore. Most books have 4.5, 5.5. So these Ontario books, man, they don't adjust right away when there's line movement. So thankfully, there's still a 3.5 at Bet99. We'll jump on that. Baltimore minus 3.5, minus 115 in this game. I don't have a strong lean on the total because I was a little unsure what the weather would be early in the week. So I'm not on the total. And then for props for this game, there are a couple. I'm on Lamar Jackson over rushing yards. We saw it last week against Houston. Not shy to run with the football. Over 65.5 rushing yards for Lamar at minus 110. And there are a couple of props I like involving Justice Hill for this game, because I find Justice Hill for Baltimore, it's almost like he's passing over Gus Edwards. I think they're getting more and more confident with Justice Hill lately in these last 2 playoff games. I'm going to go with Justice Hill over 33.5 rushing yards, minus 110 at DraftKings. And I'm going to take a touchdown shot with him as well. I think we hit a couple of these bigger plus price touchdown shots last week. I think Justice Hill plus 320 at DraftKings. I think he's got a chance to find the end zone. I think definitely you saw last week he got some red zone touches, red zone opportunities, and I think you're going to see more of that here. And then on the Kansas City side, a couple of props as well. Isaiah Pacheco touchdown plus 140 at FanDuel. He's an obvious candidate, to find the end zone. He's in on so many of the Kansas City touchdown drives, regular season and here in the playoffs. And look, he's Mr. AFC Championship game. He had a good game last week against Buffalo, even though he didn't play great down the stretch, and I still don't think he's played his best since he got involved with Taylor. But he's been a monster in the AFC Championship game. He's starting to get that camaraderie back with Mahomes again. We'll go Travis Kelce, Kansas City, over 60.5 receiving yards at minus 120 at PointsBet. And that's everything I've got for that game.
Locked and loaded. Bobano, Ravens minus 3.5, minus 115. I'm surprised you could find that. Nice job. Lamar Jackson over 65.5 rush yards. Justice Hill over 33.5 and a touchdown. 2 different bets. Pacheco anytime touchdown plus 140, and Kelce over 16.5 receiving yards minus 120. Let's roll into game 2 here, and I am concerned. I cherish my friendship with Big Show. I can't wait to be on the live stream with him tonight. Detroit Lions 14-5, 6-3 on the road. San Francisco 49ers 13-5, 6-3 at home. Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California. 54 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 2 miles per hour. I'll tell you, I'm much more confident in the Ravens than I am in the 49ers. Guard Jonah Jackson is out for the Lions. Zach Ertz was not elevated from the practice squad. If he was, that wasn't going to be a big deal. Deebo Samuel is not on the injury report and is good to go. Let's take a look at the line history here for game 2. God, it's going to be so much fun today. I got this giant bottle of Jameson I'm ready. Look, I'm ready. We have this total climbing and climbing now at 52.5. This moved up from 51.5. It was 51.5 juiced to the over at Pinnacle. They moved it to 52.5 about an hour, 45 minutes ago. It is minus 109 to the under, but this total is climbing. From a point spread perspective here, we saw the 7.5 appear, which is a huge sign of confidence in the favorite, moving from 7 to 7.5. I am on the under 51, unfortunately. I'm also on the Niners double result. Let's get to the cash flow then for this spot. On the total, 70% of tickets, 71% of the cash on the over. And then we have just 48% of tickets and 58% of the cash on the on the Niners. 48 and 58 on the Niners. And it's moved from 7 to 7.5. There's our guy Razor Sharp picks in the house. So Dana, Delp, Andrew G, Dabby Cap, Sebastian, Justin McKelvey, just a great group here. So we have the Detroit Lions have been just a great story. I do believe, again, that the Niners are more vulnerable than the Ravens. Can the Lions continue this magical run? Last time the Lions made a magical run to the NFC Championship game, whole city was behind them. It was extremely exciting, and they lost 41-10 to Washington. Now, this is a different football team. I get it. That was 1991. I get it. Can the Lions defense hold on here? That's the biggest question in the game, because their offense can keep them in the game, but they're 27th in EPA per play against the pass and 25th in drop back success rate. They're 31st in yards allowed to opposing wide receiver ones. They've allowed a 100-yard receiver in 5 straight games. The 49ers offense finished the regular season ranked number 1 in offensive DVOA and EPA per play. The Lions red zone defense is 4th worst in the league. The 49ers have the best red zone offense in the league. This year, quarterbacks against the Lions had an average passing rating of 93.3. That's a higher passer rating than Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Matt Stafford, and Josh Allen all had this year. Can the Lions win against an elite team outdoors? They went 3-2 straight up and against the spread on the road in outdoor games this year. They averaged 18.8 points per game. This will be the Lions' first outdoor game since December 10th. Their second since October 22nd. The Lions quarterback, Jared Goff, is 4-8 against the spread as an underdog outdoors against a team with a win percentage above 65%. Only one game this year fit that sample, fit that criteria. That was the 38-6 road loss against the Baltimore Ravens. The 49ers rush defense is a weakness. They finished 26th in EPA allowed per rush. The Lions have to take advantage of that. Can they take advantage of that? Bobano, take it away. Game 2 here for us. Lions-Niners.
Yeah, fascinating game, great game. I think it's going to be a better game than people think. This is tricky because San Francisco's got such a much better game in them possibly than we saw last week. We know that. They got away with one against Green Bay. We know the struggles of Detroit at times on the road, outdoors, on grass. Everyone's talking about that with Jared Goff. I get that, but there's some kind of fucking special magic going on with Detroit here going into this game. I'm on those Lions, Jimmy. I'm on those Lions here, north of a touchdown. I am. And maybe I'm prisoner of last week in San Francisco looking so like they're this close to not even being in this football game after that game against Green Bay. I did not like anything I saw. I did not like the zero pass rush on Jordan Love. I did not like receivers running wide open against that secondary and all the penalties they took, holding, defensive holding, pass interference. That secondary didn't look good for San Francisco. And everyone talks about the Niners' weapons, and rightfully so. Brock Purdy to McCaffrey to Ayuk, and now Deebo Samuel's back and he's going to play. And Kittle. But what about the Lions' weapons? Start talking about them too. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Start talking about him. Start talking about Sam Laporta, the tight end. What about Josh Reynolds, the playoffs he's having, the former Ram? Just they've got weapons too. Gibbs and Montgomery, a great running back tandem. I don't know. And let's be real about San Francisco. From a point spread standpoint, they haven't been very good since Christmas when they got bombed by Baltimore at home. They have not been a great point spread team. They've looked like they've been a touch overvalued, and to me, Detroit here, even getting these points, I'm interested here. Even with those concerns, yeah, there's valid concerns about whether Detroit's offense can replicate itself outdoors on grass. I get it. The numbers bear it out. They haven't been as productive. They haven't put up as many points outdoors on grass this year. But to me, you give me 7.5, I'm going to take that here in this game. So plus 7.5, minus 108 at Pinnacle for the Detroit Lions. This game I like over the total. I think there's going to be a lot of points here in this game. I think San Francisco's offense will settle down. The one thing about Detroit that scares me is that secondary. So I think from a prop standpoint, I'm interested in Ayuk over receiving yards today for the 49ers, because I do think the Lions are at least going to try to focus a little bit more on Samuel. So over 75.5 receiving yards, minus 115 at score bet for Brandon Ayuk. Kittle for the Niners. I think we cashed his prop last week. We'll go back to it here over his receiving yards, over 57.5, minus 114. On the Detroit side, I like Sam Laporta over receiving yards today, over 45.5, I should say, receiving yards. Sam Laporta minus 125. And like I say, I know last week with the Niners, that game stayed under. The weather was terrible. The offense never clicked. And still that game, with one more touchdown, could have went over the total last week. So I'm going to jump on that over 51.5, minus 115 at ProLine Plus. And I just realized, Jimmy, that's it for me for that game. And I just realized, too, that I missed one of my props in the Kansas City game. And that is Mahomes over rushing yards. I do think he's going to have to use his legs today, and a lot. So over 27.5 rushing yards for Mahomes, minus 108 at FanDuel. That's it.
I love it. Let me just make sure I got everything right. Lions game. Lions plus 7.5, minus 108. Over 51.5, minus 115. Ayuk over 75.5, receiving yards, minus 115. Kittle over 57.5, receiving yards, minus 114. Laporta over 45.5, receiving yards, minus 125.
Yep. You got
Bobano, I truly mean it when I love, you're a very fun capper to track. And I really liked what you did this year. It's easy when you get off to a great start. And I mean, not easy, but it's easier. It's tougher when you dig yourself a hole, and very difficult to climb out of it.
I've dug myself out of holes in seasons for years across all sports. So we're used to it. We're used to getting the shovel out. Yeah.
Oh, nice job. Nice job. Bobano currently ranked 5th out of 28 cappers, 68 and 64 plus 2.17 units. He's climbed from 26th to 5th.
Yep.
Next stop, the top 3. Great job, Bobano. Please support Bobano. He's got a new Twitter handle at
Bobano Betts.
At Bobano Betts, and please support the Ice Guys as well. Bobano, go get that cash. Thank you for hitting leadoff for us all year. You're the man. We love you, dude. Get that cash today. Oh, absolutely. No, see you on the live stream. I'll see you on the late live stream.
Right, I'll be on for the first half of that 49ers and Lions game tonight. So looking forward to that. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Jimmy, good luck. I see Birdie waiting in the background. Good luck to him today as well. Let's get some cash today. Enjoy the games.
I love it. There he is, Ian Cameron. We move on to our next guest, currently ranked 3rd out of 28 cappers. And what a performance he put on last week. I do want to touch on it because it was extremely impressive. It's the greatest week that we've ever had here on Pub Sports Radio. And, it just barely beat the spectacular work from our Sean Higgs, who'll be joining us in the second hour of this telecast. But let's just touch on what Birdie did last week. That was so impressive. So he had, we got started with he had the Texans team rush total under 80.5. What'd they get? 30? He had a Ravens and I forget if he had the over or the under at 44, but the total pushed. So that parlay just became a risky spot on the Ravens, but it was not risky because it was Ravens. He had Baltimore KC a parlay money line that cashed. He had Baltimore Kansas City over 44 and Green Bay San Francisco under 51 that cashed. He had San Francisco under 51 that cashed. San Francisco and the Chiefs that cashed. He had Kittle anytime touchdown that cashed. He had a miss on the Tampa Bay Detroit under that was tied in the parlay. He had a plus 400 Kittle touchdown, CMC touchdown, Love interception that cashed. The Buccaneers game hurt him, but then he comes back with Detroit and San Francisco Green Bay under, the Chiefs plus 2.5, the Chiefs money line, the Chiefs minus 2.5. Noah Gray, he laddered Noah Gray. He only got the first one. He didn't catch the Allen Love interception, but still, it was a masterclass, and he is here to rock with us right now, coming to us from Kingston, Ontario, currently ranked 3rd out of 28 cappers here on NFL Pub Hub. Please welcome Birdie Betts to the show. Birdie, how are you, my friend?
I am great, Jimmy. How are you?
I am excellent. My everything I do is finished. It's all about the cappers who are joining us now. So take it away, Birdie. AFC Championship, Chiefs, Ravens. We're all ears.
Happy birthday, Doc. We don't get older. We just get way better looking. Okay, here we go. What I love about this Chiefs Ravens game is there's so many different ways to attack this game as a capper. So I'll just give you a little insight as to why I'm going to be on the Chiefs side here. Predominantly, the way I have this set up is a bit uniquely, but the game itself, I feel this needs to be said. So in most weeks in the NFL, when we see a side take a bunch of money and then the line drops towards them, we as a group of cappers tend to get our radar up in those particular moments because something seems off. Why are books trying to get more money on the side they already had the money? What I find interesting about this week and the Super Bowl week is this happens, but it happens very uniquely. What we know is this line opened at 3.5 Ravens plus money. I've seen guys that I respect, like Troy, for example. He had the fair in this game at 6.75 for the Ravens, yet the line opened at 3.5. All the sharp guys that I follow and am fortunate enough to speak to that do this for a living had this at fair at 4.5 or 5, depending on the guy or girl for the Ravens. Yet this opened up at 3.5 at plus money. And we also know that the book, a lot of the big books have major liability on the Ravens to win this game. So to me, this is kind of sets up for me with the radar a little bit because we opened up a number that was very, very pro Ravens for the sharp guys. And sure enough, the Ravens have got hit. And it's taken us 6 days to get to the fair analytical number. So I'm very leery on the Ravens. I think caution should be taken. But again, that's the way I cap this game. And I know there's other folks that capped it differently or on the Ravens side. Respect the hell out of everybody, and that's what makes this week beautiful. Okay, so we'll get into my pick. So I'm going to start with Clyde Edwards-Helaire over 7.5 rushing yards at minus 110. I think Pacheco hasn't really practiced all week. He's got a bad toe. He's got a bad ankle. I think 7.5 is a very good number for a guy that can get this on one touch. So here's where we get unique. So we're going to go to the same game parlay market again, and we're going to take Edwards-Helaire over 7.5 rushing yards and tie that in with Chiefs plus 7.5 at plus 160.
Okay.
We're going to take Clyde Edwards-Helaire over 7.5 rushing yards with the Chiefs plus 10.5 at plus 140.
Okay.
We're going to take Clyde Edwards-Helaire over 7.5 with the Chiefs 14.5 at plus 120. We're going to go Clyde Edwards-Helaire over 7.5 rushing with the Ravens plus 3.5 at plus 155.
Okay, can we slow down?
And
a
we're
second?
going to go.
Sorry, I'm not very talented at this part of the production. Over 7.5 with the Chiefs plus 14.5 was at what number?
Plus 120.
Plus 120, and the Edwards over 7.5 with the Ravens was Ravens money line.
Nope, 3.5 plus 3.5 at plus 155.
Plus 3.5. Okay, plus 1. Okay, cool.
And then Ravens Edwards-Helaire with Ravens plus 7.5 at plus 125.
And Ravens plus 7.5 at plus 125. So,
okay, and the next. Oh, go ahead.
Well, your expectation then clearly is that this is going to be a very close football game.
Absolutely, I think it's a 3-point game. I mean, we've got two really, really, really good quarterbacks. We have a championship defense in the Chiefs. I mean, we have a Ravens team that outside of Hamilton and the head coach has never been in this spot before. We have a Chiefs team that the moment's not going to be too big for them. So for me, you factor in the puckered up butt, maybe a little bit of the Ravens in this spot and how much this game means. And then you have probably a very loose Chiefs team because they've been here before. I think this game's close. Yes. Okay. We'll go to my next spot because I know we're short in time. So I have Noah Gray over 1.5 receptions at plus 120. You're going to hear probably a lot of cappers talk about Roquan Smith and how well he's going to shut down Kittle. And I think that's going to open up Noah Gray here. He got 50% target share last week, had 3 receptions. I think this number's too low on him, and I like the value. And then Jimmy, we're going to do the exact same thing with him. We're going to go with the over 1.5 receptions with the Chiefs plus 7.5.
Okay.
That's plus 230.
Okay.
Chiefs 10.5. That's plus 200.
Okay.
And Chiefs 14.5. That's plus 16.5. Or pardon me, plus 165.
Plus 14.5 is plus 165.
You got it. And the Ravens plus 3.5 plus 170. And the Ravens plus 7.5 at plus 145.
Okay.
And that's it for this game.
Okay, so what was the juice on the Ravens and Gray? Ravens plus 3.5?
Plus 145.
And what was the juice with the Ravens plus 7.5?
Sorry, 7.5 was plus 145, 3.5 was plus 170.
Okay, thank you. Plus 145, and then plus 170. All right, I love it. So does that conclude action then on the Chiefs game?
Yeah, there's one more, but I'll say it at the end.
You don't have to. You can. You'll drop.
Oh yeah, it ties in with the next game.
Okay, cool.
More ties in.
All right, we'll go over all of your action at the end, so let's not hammer this one more time. There's my guy Gamblestein DX in the house. Take it away, Birdie. Niners, Lions, we're all ears.
I'm going to be short and sweet here. Agree with basically everything what Babano said. I'm a Lions believer. Lots of great stats. I think it was 1939. You can correct me on the year. The Lions were in San Francisco in the conference championship game and won, so they're 1-0 in this spot in San Francisco. So we'll go with that. So we're going to go with the Lions plus 7.5 at 115.
Okay.
Lions plus 3.5 at plus 160. And the Lions money line at plus 280.
Okay.
And then to cap it all off, I'll give you a money line parlay with the teams I think we're going to see in 2 weeks. We're going to go with the Chiefs money line, Lions money line at plus 1011.
Wow, I love it, Birdie. So Birdie's focus is on Clyde Edwards-Helaire over 7.5 rush yards. He has that as an individual bet. He also has that tied with the Chiefs plus 7.5 at plus 160, the Chiefs plus 10.5 plus 140, Chiefs plus 14.5 plus 120, Ravens plus 3.5 plus 155, Ravens plus 7.5 plus 125. He's got Noah Gray over 1.5 receptions at plus 120. He's got that tied with the Chiefs plus 7.5 plus 230, Chiefs plus 10.5 plus 200, Chiefs plus 14.5 plus 165, Ravens plus 3.5 plus 170, Ravens plus 7.5 at plus 145. Then we have Lions plus 7.5 at minus 115, Lions plus 3.5 plus 160, Lions money line plus 280, and the Chiefs Lions SGP at plus 1011. There is my guy Swiss Horton in the chat. Swiss, every time I see your name, it puts a smile on my face, man. Great to see you, my guy. Rob Free back in business. We haven't seen Rob Free in a while. Nice to see you. And there's our guy Eldorado Custodian, who ran with us at Southtown 101, man. I love you. Okay, so that is Birdie's action coming off the single greatest performance in the history of NFL Pub Hub in 1 week. Can he duplicate that and jump into first place? And what a performance we had by the top group. And that's the only reason why you're not in first place right now. Birdie, thank you for sharing your hard work with us, my friend. Please follow Birdie and support our friend at Birdie_bets on X. Birdie, thank you for your time. Much love to you, my friend. Any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
We make it fun.
There he is. Birdie in the house. Let's bring on your next guest, ready to rock backstage. And I'm very excited. I was hoping to get him on the show. We weren't sure if we're going to make it happen. So our next guest, he may not have his record up, but I have his record. He is currently ninth. 1-1 at the even units. Currently ranked 9th. He was only with us week 17. Now, he's been a big part of our program as we've gone through. This is our 3rd year of NFL Pub Hub, and I love working with him. Just a credible personality on camera and off, and can't wait to rock with him at Pubapalooza. Please welcome star of our MMA programming on Pub Sports Radio. We got Mills in the house. MMA Locker Room, what's happening, man? How are you?
What's good, man? How's everybody doing today, man? Pub Sports Radio, F the rest out, we the best out. Shout out to everybody in the chat, because all we do is cash.
I love it, Millsy. I love it. It's great to have you here, my man. So let me just get this set up for Mills MMA Locker Room. So my work is done here. How are you getting? We're going to talk about each game. So let's start with the Chiefs Ravens. Take it away, my man.
Man, let's go ahead and get it started, man. Chiefs, Ravens, man, going to be a good game. But I think, man, this is the one to where a lot of people think this is the one player who has what it takes to beat Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson's been as advertised, held out for a big contract. You see why. Worth every single damn penny. What happened to that guy, Deshaun Watson? He got $240 million guaranteed. Dude hasn't played football and like, all right, man, we ain't here for none of that. Let's get him what we want. I'm taking Zay Flowers over 4.5 receptions, man. 77 receptions on the year right now, 850 yards right now. The thing that I like about him is his last couple of games, he's been getting in that end zone, you know. He's been, showing that he can be that number 1 receiver that the Baltimore Ravens haven't had since the Anquan Bolden. Y'all remember that dude? I do. So look, man, Zay Flowers, when it comes down to it, you're going to have Andrews out there now, you know, helping them to take off that defense of the secondary of the Chiefs. But Zay Flowers is as is, man. I think he's going to have 2 receptions in the first quarter. I'm taking him over 4.5 receptions. That's my first player prop that I like on the Baltimore Ravens to get you guys paid. The price tag on it too. It's not a bad price tag on it. It's like minus 110, minus 115. So shop around for the best line. But I'm taking Zay Flowers to go ahead and get us some dollars.
Zay Flowers over 4.5 receptions for Millsy to get started. What's next?
Man, let's go ahead and talk about it, man. So when we're talking about scoring touchdown props, I love this guy, man. We're talking about a guy who has a 100% rate, 5 out of his last 5 times getting in the end zone. Isaiah Pacheco, anytime touchdown, man. 7 touchdowns on the year right now. The way he runs the ball is just mean. I haven't seen a guy run like that since Jamal Lewis with the Baltimore Ravens back then. The way that he's getting the receptions too, he's getting acclimated to the offense, man. He was a guy that was only getting 1.5 receptions last year. Now his player prop is at 3 receptions. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because when he catches that ball out the backfield, he's running up for at least 12 to 14 yards. So I actually think he could get a touchdown even by catching it out the backfield too. So I'm taking Isaiah Pacheco anytime touchdown, minus 125.
Locked in. Pacheco, anytime touchdown, minus 125. What's next?
All right. Detroit Lions versus everybody, right? Ain't they, man? They getting plus 7.5 on this? You think they ain't gonna cover that? Let's think about it. Oh, well, F it. I ain't here for that, man. Sam Laporta, the best tight end in the game right now, is what I'm saying. Okay, man. Why? Because the thing that he's doing is amazing. 88 receptions on the year with 889 yards, 10 touchdowns, man. Iowa has this thing to where they just put out tight ends left and right. Remember Hawkinson? They thought that they was going to be missing him. They ain't missing none of that, man. Sam Laporta is better than Kyle Pitts. He's better than pretty much a plethora of the tight ends out there. I'm going to go ahead and put him in the top 5 already out there. I'm taking him over 4.5 receptions. It might be at 5. Last game out, oh, let's see. He might be banged up, might be hurt. The dude had like 10 receptions, bro. So let's go ahead and take Sam Laporta over 5 receptions. I'm also going to be sprinkling on him to get a touchdown.
Is that 5 or more then, right? You're not pushing with the 5 or more receptions, over 4.5 receptions. What is what is the juice? Do you have that in front of you?
I don't right now.
Okay.
I don't. These are all player props that I bet already, but I'm not looking at the price tags right now on them.
No worries. Okay, I'll find it. Keep rolling, my man.
All right, man. So now I got a player prop that I'm gonna be holding on kind of dearly to the heart. David Montgomery. I'm taking him to get an anytime touchdown, man. Why? Because this is the guy to where I think he was leading the NFL at a time for his rushing touchdowns. I think he had like 12 or 13 early on in the season. And this is a guy to where he's as advertised as well. When you get into that goal line, yes, Jamar Gibbs can catch it out the backfield, run it in that way. But you don't want to go that route. You want somebody that's trustworthy, somebody who's been putting up those yards, somebody that, is not going to fumble the ball. So I'm taking David Montgomery at anytime touchdown. That's like a minus 110 out there, too, on the books.
He's been forgotten a bit with the rise of Jahmyr Gibbs. Montgomery anytime touchdown at minus 110. We're getting the best line for Sammy Laporta. Do you have any other action here on the lines?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Of course I do, man. All right, so let's go ahead and go over it. Amon St. Brown, I'm going to be taking him over 7.5 receptions. Some people might think about it and say, hey, man, that number's kind of high. But this is the thing. When you got high reception prop numbers with certain players, they usually exceed by 2. Same thing with strikeout props. So for the guys that play strikeout props in baseball, when you got a guy who's penciled in at 7.5 Ks, he's more likely to give you 9 Ks than the guy that's penciled in at 3.5 Ks to go to 4. It's just one of those things to where they're already accounting for it. Last game out, he was able to go over 7.5 receptions, barely. He hit it by 8, I want to say. But this is a game to where you got to put up points over there. And the only way you can put up points is throwing that ball. So I'm taking Amon St. Brown over 7.5 receptions.
We got the 7.5 receptions at minus 127. We got the anytime touchdown from Montgomery at plus 121 available at Pinnacle right now. Sammy Laporta, 5 or more receptions I'm grabbing as well. What else do you have, my man?
All right, man. So let's go ahead. I got one more to get you guys on top, man. This one's going to be something that's kind of a iffy thing, but I don't think so. Give me CMC. Anytime touchdown? Hell no. I'm taking him to get 2 touchdowns at plus 170. When it comes down to it, Deebo Samuel's going to be back in the lineup. We all know that. But CMC, he's the guy, man. And we already know. We've been giving him out all year over here for his touchdown props. I think he only had 1 or 2 games where he didn't have a score in it. I think it's going to be a game to where they're going to focus heavily on the run game, okay? You want to keep the Detroit Lions off the field. You don't want to expose Brock Purdy. The card's been out now. Everybody has questions on Brock Purdy. Shanahan has a great skill of hiding quarterbacks and hiding what they're bad at and their flaws. Look what he did with Jimmy G. Look what he does with a lot of people, So I think he's going to do the same thing in this game, and I think you're going to see a run-heavy game with CMC. So I'm taking him to get 2 touchdowns at plus 170.
You got it locked in. CMC 2 touchdowns at plus 170. We got Amon St. Brown over 7.5 receptions minus 127. Montgomery anytime touchdown plus 121. Laporta over 4.5 receptions minus 142. Pacheco anytime touchdown minus 125. Zay Flowers over 4.5 receptions at plus 112. Millsy in the house. I see your boy there. Great to see him, man. We love the videos with him involved. What's going on? Tell us what's going on for you that we need to know about. What's the next interview? What's popping? I know big fight week next week. Take it away.
Tell them Pop Sports.
Australia.
Say it again.
Australia.
All right, cool. Yeah, man. So we got a lot of interviews locked and loaded. I got Max Griffin stepping in this Monday. He fights next week against Jeremiah Wells, or the following week in February 16th. I got him locked and loaded for an interview. He doesn't do a lot of media, but he's given us a good interview. So that's going to be dropping on Monday. Besides that, you guys remember NBA Inside Stuff, Jimmy?
Of course.
F it. We got MMA Inside Stuff with MMA Locker Room. I'm dropping those videos. Whenever the hottest news are coming out, I'm releasing them. We already got 2 episodes out there. We dropped one when we talked about the new fights for the BMF title, and we just dropped another one talking about the new signing of Kayla Harrison to the UFC. So you got MMA Inside Stuff dropping weekly over here at Pub Sports Radio. And then we got our seconds out, interviews that's going to be coming out with Max Griffin on Monday. So stay tuned with that, man. And, the UFC live stream is going to be going down Saturday. Every single week, somebody's winning $100 in the chat. So hopefully we get everybody from this stream on over to those MMA streams as well.
I love it. I love it, Millsy. Thank you for rolling with us, man. We love it. If you can jump into a live stream, we'd love that as well this evening, man. Love rocking with you. Get that cash and rocking these big interviews. We love it. So there is our guy, Millsy. Millsy, any last words for the Capper Sport and the show?
Hey, yeah, man. Appreciate everybody out here, man. I'll be honest with you guys, man. You guys might not see me a lot on the channel how I used to be on the live streams. A little bit more busier with certain things and stuff. But, man, whenever I can, I always love coming on here. For the people out here that's trying to compare me to somebody else and saying, oh, we got some new guys, I've been doing this since a lot of y'all was still not even in the chat yet. So go ahead and look us up, man. But so hopefully everybody gets those tickets out there and we get some big money bets. And hey, man, let's go ahead and cash, man. Let's go ahead and bring the Detroit Lions to the Super Bowl for my man Big Show, though.
No, let's not do that. But I love Big Show. And look, they've had a fun ride. They've had a great ride. Let's just leave it at that shit, man. I love it. There's our guy Millsy in the house. Let's keep rolling. But don't forget, this Friday, our poker tournament is up in Adam the week between football games. And we got our rules in, except we only have the one break. I'll get to next. But it's you can rebuy for the first hour. And then we have the $25 add-on. Got the add-on in. So we got a lot of our rules. We got bounties, $50 bounty on my head, $50 bounty on Slaughter's head. And we're bigging up these Pub Sports Radio poker tournaments. So this Friday at 8 p.m., Jose and I will host the live stream. And if you need a new account, it's only for new accounts, but we have the link on our website, $1,000, up to $1,000, 100% bonus, up to $1,000. And every other site that has a Bet Online bonus is Bitcoin. Has to be a Bitcoin or a Bitcoin thing, not ours. We get you can just put cash in and get your bonus. So this Friday, join us at the poker table. Please join us at the poker table, and Jose and I will be hosting the live stream. Let's roll on to our next guest. Back-to-back years in the top 5. He has slipped out of the top 5 here, but there is still time to get him back into the black. I love capping with him. You'll catch him on our live streams this evening. Star of NBA and mixed martial arts on this channel. Please welcome South Jersey in the house, Billy Brisbane, to the show. Brizzy, what's good, man? How are you?
Doing good, man. I wanted to ask you, what are the constraints of what are we allowed to give out on the NFL Pub Hub? Because I do have a parlay, but the other leg of the parlay is about to tip off, and it's college.
If you're not wearing a crop top, what do we call them? If you're not wearing your belly tee, then you can. Okay, good. You can just give us whatever you'd like, man. Whatever you prefer. If your midriff is covered. Anything you want to give up?
All right, a little personal play here. This game actually got rescheduled from yesterday to today. Louisiana's about to take on Texas Tech. We just made some cash on the Raging Cajuns on Friday, and we're right back to the Raging Cajuns with the Baltimore Ravens, no pun intended, 2-leg parlay, -115 here.
I like it. Well, let's get to the matter at hand now, Brizzy, my friend. We start with Chiefs. I'm so fucking excited about Chiefs Ravens. I have to hit this. I got to get this going, man. Chiefs Ravens. It's going off here on Pub Sports Radio. Join us on the live stream. Thank you for joining us. Let's get this money today. I'm so excited. I'm going to be here for the next 10 hours sitting in this seat, and I couldn't be more excited about it. So thank you guys for supporting our show and our live streams. Brizzy, take us home, man. How you getting paid in Chiefs Ravens?
Yeah, first thing that we're going to look at here is the Baltimore Ravens first half minus the 3 at 120 at Bet365. I like the situational advantage for the Ravens to start off this game. This is a second straight road game that the Chiefs are going to be playing. The Ravens are in their 4th consecutive home game. The Ravens haven't played on the road since Christmas. When a team is playing its 3rd straight home game versus an opponent that's on its 2nd road game, the home team is 36-26-2 ATS in the first half since 2003, so covering at 58%. And the Chiefs over Mahomes' last 8 starts are 1-7 ATS in the first half. Baltimore for the season's 14-4 first half ATS. Last week they dropped their first half ATS, but the Ravens have yet to suffer back-to-back first half ATS losses. So we're going to back the Ravens here in the first half.
Ravens first half, and you know what? I'll line shop for you. I'll get you the best line available for Ravens first half. So take it away. Anthony Richardson.
-3. It said
Sorry?
best line was -3, Bet365 when I bet it.
Oh, really?
Because I ended up falling asleep last night and this shit moved from 2.5 to 3. 3.5 at FanDuel at plus money, but I saw Bet365 was still hanging around at 3.
Yeah, no, we got 3s out there. -114 is the best available. I doubt that Bet365 they'll sneak into your, through your window at night and take the wallet out of your pants that are hanging up on the wall. So I doubt that we're going to get better than that. It's -120. So we got you -3, -114 over at Pinnacle. Take it away. What's next?
I got a comment from my man Cheshire Cat. Do you not know why everybody's betting the Ravens? There is certain simple capabilities that the NFL can't control. And one of those things that they can't control is them cutting off every fucking camera shot to fucking Taylor Swift at the end of every commercial. Well, I'll give you one here. Taylor Swift's world tour that starts in Asia starts next month, a week before the Super Bowl. So the NFL won't have the ability just to cut off the Taylor Swift every 5 seconds. That's just a little degen in me, but degeneracy will come into anytime touchdown prop here. Gus Edwards, anytime touchdown at +140 here at ESPN Bet. I don't trust the KC's run defense, giving up 4.5 yards per carry, 115 rushing yards per game. Specifically, the Chiefs have struggled versus shotgun runs. They rank in the bottom 5 as success rate against shotgun runs. Then that's where Gus Edwards thrives, averaging 4.5 yards per carry compared to 3.8 under center here. And I know a lot of people talking about Justice Hill coming on for this week. Well, I'm not really afraid of Justice Hill. Justice Hill didn't really start getting all these attempts until Edwards started having problems late in that game, and he had to get pulled out of the game. Dalvin Cook didn't get a touch until he got pulled out of the game, and that's when Justice Hill kind of took over. I think this is going to be more of a smash mouth type of style here for Gus Edwards, and we need him to run right up the middle and get the anytime touchdown. I like the rushing yard prop as well at 45.5, but I don't carry this into the cap too much, but I try to stay away from like the top 5 most popular prop bets of the weekend, and Gus Edwards' rushing yard prop was in that top 5.
Gus Edwards +140. Ravens first half -3 at -114. Brizzy, anything else for you in Ravens Chiefs?
Yeah, this is going to be a part of a same game parlay, but I haven't gotten that one put together fully yet. So I'll give you one leg of parlay. Lamar Jackson under a half of interception at -135. Lamar ain't throwing no picks today.
I like that look. You don't hear a lot of cappers using the under a half interception rather than the over. I like that look with Lamar. Anything else you got for this one?
I got that Louisiana game popping off at 1 o'clock, 2-leg parlay with the Ravens. Raising Cajuns, baby. Go get some chicken because birds are about to flock. And I ain't talking about those bum-ass Eagles. I'm talking about the Ravens.
Yeah, some questionable Kellen Moore after the debacle in Sandy or in LA. I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Don't get me started.
We are all shocked that you guys have done that. But take it away here for Lions 49ers, Brizzy. What's good? What's in store?
Yeah, we're probably adding more a little bit here. This is what I would like to say is the added game of the day, because we got a lot of sports going off in between here. But I like Amon-Ra St. Brown over 84.5 receiving yards at -120. Fuck it. It's a square play, but sometimes those square plays just get through the window here. And he's gone over his receiving yard prop 4 of his last 5 games, with the only miss being last week versus Tampa, which is actually really weird considering how good of a matchup that is. This is a good matchup for him in a potential negative game script. The target consistency is hard to ignore. 23 targets in his first 2 playoff games. If the Lions are trailing in the second half, like I expect, they should get aggressive here. And other than Sam Laporta, no other wide receiver last week had more than 2 catches. So the target share is pretty condensed with Amon-Ra St. Brown and then everybody else. So the Lions can fucking lose and get blown out by 50 for all I care. Just throw the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown and give yourself a chance.
Let's get that for you. Amon-Ra St. Brown over 84.5 receiving yards at -120. What's next, my man?
That's it. We're cutting it. We're cutting it short. We just want to give out winners, all the degeneracy and all the plus monies. That's will be saved for the live streams. This show is for the winners, and I gotta get the winning done here. Got to get back in the black.
Let's get you black. Get you black. You're already there.
I'm
You've already
already
made
black,
that. You've already got there. You've already succeeded there. Let's get you back in the black, my man. Amon-Ra St. Brown over 84.5 receiving yards -120. Lamar Jackson under a half interception -135. Gus Edwards anytime touchdown +140. Ravens first half -3 -114. And you will see our guy Brizzy rocking with us in both football games today. So get that SGP ready for us. Mine are ready to go too. So get that ready for us, Brizzy, and I'll see you in like an hour, my man.
Let's get it.
There he is. Please follow our guy Brizzy on Instagram and of course on X at getting_bills_. Let's bring on our next guest. We got so many great gappers popping off, man. A lot, and I can't wait to bring your next guest on screen. We don't have him on screen enough. He's the backbone of us here at Pub Sports Radio. Please welcome a capper known for his goddamn sweet tea tits, amongst other things. Please welcome Jose Bouquet to the show. Jose, how are you, my friend?
Jimmy, I'm doing all right. Admittedly, I went to bed at 5 a.m. last night, so I'm pretty exhausted. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just one of those nights, obviously. I looked at my mother, said good morning, and she said, what's wrong with you? First thing she said. So this is a good start to the day.
I like it. I like all about that. I like everything about that, Jose. But I also want you to deliver the goods. Now, your record you had a bad bounce to be 4-7 -2.96 units, and you had a plus money spot. You would be in the black without the bad bounce. Nice to have you back in action with us. So also the confidence pool is right now. You are just behind Preston Ekdahl in true scoring. You're in second place with the points, but it's Preston Ekdahl. You and I have the least amount of lost points, which is the crucial thing here. So there's $1,000 up for grabs, Jose, and you have a rich history of not making that money. Take it away for us here for Ravens Chiefs.
I will admit, Friday morning, I had one of those cold sweats. Did I make my picks? And I luckily I did, and it was Friday morning, so I could still edit. Now, I did look at my confidence picks this morning and was surprised to see the numbers that were there. I guess I completely forgot that I switched my numbers up somewhat. But I have my best friend is a Chiefs fan, and I've told him every day this week that I felt bad for him. That the Chiefs are going to get dog walked by the Ravens today. It's kind of surprising. I was right there with you. I don't want to bet against Patrick Mahomes. He's very, very good. But honestly, the thing that has given me wings and taken me away has been the market moves towards the Ravens. Open at 3.5. Now we're at 4.5. I just feel like that's the telltale sign. And it'll be great. So I think that the Ravens win here. Now, obviously, Jimmy, this is a competition of sorts. People want to get into first place, and I have some climbing to do. So I will just shoot my load here now and have everyone judge it and how it goes here. So first of all, one of my most favorite bets I've made, and maybe the best bet I've ever made, is first touchdown scorer tight end plays. I love doing it. Shout out to Rob Gronkowski for getting me out of a big hole with my local in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. We appreciate that. I'm going to be on both first touchdowns for the Ravens here. Both tight ends. Andrews 1,000, likely plus 1,100. I also am taking both of them to score individually as well. Andrews plus 175, likely plus 200. I'm also.
Wait,
I'm
can I
going
do
to
this again? So likely he's plus 1,100. It's interesting. He's got longer odds for the first touchdown, but shorter odds for anytime touchdown.
shorter. He's plus 200.
Wow.
And Andrews is plus 175.
Wow. Okay. Plus 175.
175.
Oh
yeah.
shit! I misread that. 370. Okay, I misheard that. Okay. So plus 1,000 for first, plus 175 for any, plus 1,100 and plus 200. Keep rolling, my man.
Yeah. So obviously, I'll be rooting for tight ends. I'm probably going to add, or I should say, I'm officially taking Ravens minus 4.5 as well, because I think they dog walk the Chiefs, and that's probably what that'll be my sign of taking the Ravens. I guess I want to take a side, confidence, et cetera, et cetera. So Ravens for me, and they were my 8-point confidence pick as well. So that's it for that game. But
4.5 of minus 4.5 and minus 102. You could get a 4 and a little more juice, but
I'll take the 4.5 dog walk.
Okay.
Dog walk.
I love it. I love the confidence from Jose Bouquet. And I like the tight ends look. It's an very, very, very interesting look here. Andrews and likely first touchdowns and anytime touchdowns. It's a really interesting look.
I will say there's probably people out there that want to hear both sides of this story. And I did look up Chiefs versus tight ends this year. They've only given up 4 touchdowns against tight ends in the entire year, apparently. I was like, holy shit. But I'm, just going to walk that off. It'll be fine. The tight ends that they played aren't that great this year anyway. So they did do well against the Bills tight ends, but I hope that Andrews and likely are just a little different and all that stuff. But that's it for that game, really. I do have a parlay that spans both games, so we can start that off with Lions 49ers. Now, I do not have the balls to lay the 7 with the Niners. I actually made this. I have 9, 8, and 5 left for my confidence pick. And I made this my 5 with the Niners because I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I'm not convinced at how good the 49ers defense really is. Their corners kind of rickety. I will say I did avoid tight ends for the Lions in this game because Dre Greenlaw and Wagner. I'm not Bobby Wagner, the other guy. I can't remember his name. Dominant tight end or dominant linebackers that I want no part of. Sammy Laporta, good fucking luck. But I will say I did take a parlay across both games, a first touchdown score parlay. So if I hit one, we can pray to God. Now, I obviously am not a big numbers guy. Jimmy doesn't like when I say that. This is the highest parlay number I've had in a little bit. I took Andrews' first touchdown in the Ravens game, and I'm taking Deebo Samuel's first touchdown in this game as well, plus 1,000, plus 900, put them together, plus 10,900 as I'm calling it right now, plus 10,900. That's a fucking big ass number there. So
we like to use the term 10,900 for that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. No, but I also took the over in this game. Whatever number we can get, I'll take the over. I like both those touchdown scores. I'm not going to take Deebo straight either. And by the way, I'm also going to jump on real quick, bouncing back to the Chiefs. I'm going to take Clyde Edwards-Helaire over 7.5 rushing yards, minus 130 on Bovada. If Birdie's going to tie all of his fucking bets to it, I might as well throw a shekel on there straight, right? So, yeah, that's all my plays, though. So it'll be a fun one. I'm excited. I am, admittedly, again, I am nervous for this Lions 49ers game more than the Chiefs game. Like I said, I think the Ravens dog walk the Chiefs. But I think the Lions are going to score on this 49ers offense or defense, excuse me. And if you put the pressure on Birdie, that's when I get worried. But I like the over in this game. I still think the Niners win it. I think it'll be a close game.
First touchdown parlay, Andrews and Deebo plus 10,900. It's 109-1. Over 52 at -110 in Lions Niners for Jose. He's on Edwards Alaire over 7.5 rush yards, and Birdie has tied a bunch of his action to it. I get why you jump on it. Ravens -4.5, -102. First touchdown likely. First touchdown Andrews 11 and 10-1 respectively, and then anytime touchdown for both 2-1 +175 respectively. Jose,
one more I forgot. Sorry,
yes,
I forgot one more. Ravens double result as well with you.
What did you get on that?
I don't know. I was just gonna ride with your number, but I assume you bet that earlier in the week, so that's why I probably
actually, in all honesty, I'm curious what it would be right now. I got +105. I'd be shocked if it was that different. I'd bet it at 365. It's -105 now, so it's not like you're getting a big difference. Okay,
cool. Yeah,
Ravens. Yes, the Ravens. The double result and the +3.5. It's the most money I've had on a football game all year is on this first one, and we're gonna watch it together. All of us, my ball of Jameson, gonna watch it together. Jose, excellent work. Great to have you back in business on camera, my friend. Thank you for all you do behind the scenes, and please join us for a live stream. Which live stream do we get you on?
I don't know. I'll probably jump on both at some point.
I love it.
We'll see. By the way, I'm going to tell you this, and we'll see. Won't hold me to this, but I think Say Hey Plays might be back every day. I might just.
Oh, you're going to go for it again?
The way you say that is scary, but I will use Tuesdays and Thursdays, hopefully with you and Loshak and with you on Thursdays as a rest day, but I'll cap in the baseball every day. We go in both Saturday and Sunday. So all that good stuff.
Sure. I predict you break down on day 147. Jose, excellent work, my friend. Get that cash, and we'll be in touch throughout the day. And thank you for all the work that you do producing the show and behind the scenes. Jose Bouquet in business here. Let's move on to our next guest. We love having him rolling with us. He's going to be on our live stream for Bills Chiefs as well. And goddamn, is it fun capping with your next guest. Not only does he deliver winners, but he brings a lot of excitement to those winners. Please welcome. We got Guns in the house. Guns,
What's going on this beautiful Sunday afternoon? It's going to be a good one, man. I am betting heavily on these two games, and I'm ready to cash some tickets with everybody on Pub Sports. And, of course, you, Jimmy the Bag. What's going on, my friend?
Guns, you are a breath of fresh air, the excitement, the energy, the big bets. Take it away, Guns. Take it away. Chiefs, Ravens, floor is yours.
Let's do it. I want to take the side. I think Baltimore's going to win this game. I think if you're looking at this from an angle on both games, I think you take San Francisco money line, Baltimore money line, throw them in a parlay, get at like -120, -125. That's probably the best look if you terms of sides. But I'm looking at the total on this one, and I like the under. I got it at 44.5. I'm seeing it sitting at 44 right now. Listen, I'm about 40 minutes away from M&T, and I'm telling you, it's raining, it's wet, it's been raining all night. It's going to be a slugfest that is going to be done in the trenches, not just because of the weather, but because of the two defenses that are playing here today. You got KC, very good pass defense. They rank 4th in opponent passing yards per game, 2nd in passing yards per attempt, 5th in opponent passing completion rate. And then Baltimore on the other side, great defense as well. Ranked 5th in opponent passing yards per game, 1st in opponent yards per attempt, 5th in opponent pass completion rate. Plus, they get to the quarterback with an 8.65% sack rate, which ranks them 2nd in the league. So they can put pressure on Mahomes. So I think if Mahomes is going to get this done, they're going to try to do it in the running game. And we've seen that in the last two playoff games with KC. They're getting away from the pass. They're getting a little bit more balance. They're basically 50-50 in terms of their offensive attempts between rush and pass ratio. So look for this KC team to run the ball. They've been running in the playoffs 146 yards per game so far. And, of course, we know who Baltimore loves to do. They love to run the ball, right? 1st in rushing yards per game, 3rd in rushing yards per attempt, 1st in rushing attempts per game. And, of course, we got to look at the two defenses as far as defensive scoring. We have Baltimore ranked number 1 in defensive scoring, only giving up 16 points per game overall. Then KC only giving up 17 points overall, ranked number 2 in defensive scoring. So you have two good defenses that can stop the pass. I think this is going to be a run-oriented game, which kills clock. It's low scoring. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game. Of course, you got to look at KC as well. Hit 4 out of the last 5 games have hit the under, and Baltimore typically a low-scoring playoff team themselves. So give me the under, 44.5, and that is a 4-unit banger for me.
Oof, 4 units. I'm right there with you on the under. I love it. We're going to, if you want us to give you because we just give you lines that are available to bet right this second, the 44.5 would be at minus 119, which is a great sign for us.
Yeah.
Would you like the minus 119 or do you want the under 44 minus 107?
Let's just give me the 44.
44 under 44 minus 107. I'm right with Guns on this, and we will be watching this game together as well. Guns, what's next? Do you have more action on this one?
I do have another prop, and it kind of correlates to what I'm telling you about this being a run-oriented game. I think if the Baltimore Ravens are going to win this game, which I think they are, I think it's going to be on the back of Lamar Jackson. It's going to be on his legs, and I think I'm going to be taking the over 64.5 rushing yards at 1.5 units here. I think they're going to take advantage of a run, good pass defense with KC, like I said before, and then look at Jackson, put up 100 rushing yards last week versus the number 2 rushing defense DVOA in Houston. So this guy can run on anybody, all right? Look at KC and their rushing, 27th in rushing defense DVOA, 18th in opponent rushing yards per game, 25th in rushing opponent yards per attempt. So you can run on KC. I think it's going to get done here. I think Lamar is going to sail over this number, 64.5. Get it now. Give me Jackson over 64.5 rushing yards, 1.5 unit play.
You got it locked in. Anything else for this spot?
That's the 2 that I like in this game. Yeah.
Let's move on to Lions 49ers. A lot of debate on this one. Take it away for us here, my friend. Your plan.
This is a sweet 49er spot to me. And I love the Niners. I got it -7. I know 7.5 are hitting the board right now. I think you can get 7s. I saw right before the show on Caesars. You can get it with juice -120, and I think that is appropriate. I will take -7. That's a 4-unit banger for me. Let me tell you why. Listen, but Detroit, what do they like to do? They like to pass the ball. Last 2 games, they've averaged 250 yards or more in that spot. But look at the defense they've faced, right? You had the Rams in the first playoff game at home, by the way, 21st in defensive pass DVOA. Then you had Tampa Bay. 14th in defensive pass DVOA, but they're ranked 28th in opponent yards per game and 25th in yards per attempt. So they played 2 weak sauce pass defenses. Well, they're going to have to play the 49ers. 49ers pass defense only gives up 213 yards per game. That's ranked 13th in the league. 5.9 yards per attempt. That's ranked 5th in the league. So this San Francisco defense keeps everything in front of them, and they don't give you away the big plays that the Detroit Lions like to do. On the other side of the coin, you got Detroit's defense's weak spot is their pass defense. They've given up over 300 passing yards to their opponents in their last 5 games. While San Francisco has had their struggles with the passing game, I think it's going to be a little bit different in this spot because San Francisco is ranked 4th in passing yards per game, 1st in passing yards per attempt, putting up 9.1 yards per attempt, 5th in passing completion rate. And, of course, Debo was out last game early. He is back. I'm not sure if he's going to be the main focal point. I'll get to my prop in a second. But I think this is a perfect San Francisco spot. Also, I found a good trend here. Playoff teams that win and not cover in advance in the playoffs in their next game. 4-0 ATS in the last 4 seasons. Detroit had that opportunity, didn't cover against the Rams. What did they do the next week against Tampa? They covered the spread. And I think San Francisco gets it done here. Also, 10-4 ATS, the home team covers in conference championships last 7 years, 6-2 ATS in the last 4 years. So you got to be looking at the home teams when you're looking at conference championships. Give me San Francisco -7, 4-unit banger.
I love everything about this, Guns. Love everything about this. Get you that -118. They are showing a few 7s on the board. Of course, when you bet it, there's a better price. But I love it. 49ers -7, -118. And that's the first 49ers full game that we've received here. We're going to have 15, actually now 16 cappers on this show. And that's the first 49ers -7, and I love to hear it. Unfortunately, Big Show may unfollow both of us. But that's what
it is. What it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Paco Healy loving it. There's a huge sentiment. Everybody on Detroit plus the points in the chat. Nice to hear some love for the gold pants wearing Niners. Anything else for you in Niners Lions?
I do like a prop on this one, and I think it's going to be the focal point of this passing offense that San Francisco is going to bring to the table today. Ayuk over 75.5 receiving yards, 1.5 unit play for me on this one. Listen, like I said, Detroit's defense, over 300 passing yards to their opponents the last 5 games. It's a leaking sieve as far as the pass defense is concerned. But look at the number 1 receivers in those spots in those 5 games. on average, I thought this number was made up. It's not. The number one receiver on average in those 5 spots, 10 catches, 178 yards, 1 touchdown per game. The number one receiver. And you look at the playoffs, the 2 opponents they faced, number one receiver, Evans, 8 catches, 147 yards. Against the Rams, Puka Nacua had 9 receptions, 181 yards receiving, okay? So Ayuk is going to be the focal point in this one, especially with Deebo Samuel. He has a shoulder injury. I don't know how healthy he is. I think he's maybe coming in as a decoy on this spot, but I think Ayuk is going to get his looks. He has surpassed this total 9 times this season, and I think he gets it done today. He's going to get a lot of targets. Look for Ayuk to get over 75.5 receiving yards, 1.5 unit play for me. And I know before the show, the number is moving upward. So I got it 75.5. That's the number I have.
You know, I love the look. Detroit ranks 31st in yards allowed to opposing WR1s. 5 straight 100-yard games for WR1s, and Ayuk wasn't great last week. So it's going to be. So I do like the look very much. Ayuk over 75.5 receiving yards, -110. Do you have anything else for Lions Niners?
That's it. Those are the plays that pay the bills, baby.
4 spots for us here. The under 44 -107 and Chiefs Ravens. Lamar Jackson over 64.5 rush yards. 49 -7 -118. And Ayuk over 75.5 receiving yards. Guns. Where can everybody find you, man? Where can and I know a lot of people rock with you every day, but just remind everybody in the chat where we can find you doing shows.
Absolutely. You can follow me on Twitter at GunsPicks. I am almost to 10K followers, so I'm trying to get over that hump. That is a goal of mine to get towards the end of the season. Of course, you can find me on the Shark Reporters Nation channel. We do all the shows, the Circa Million Show. We are absolutely cruising on that one, hitting 57.1% in the regular season of the NFL, plus 22.9 units. And, of course, we had a tremendous wild card, had a little bit of drop-off in the divisional round. However, today is the day to make it all back. So just go check me out in those 2 spots for all the content that pays, baby.
We love you, Guns. Can't wait to rock with you here for Chiefs Ravens in about an hour and a bit. So respect. Thank you so much for joining with us. Everybody, could you please go to Guns Picks? Let's get him over 10K. He deserves it. Puts out content nonstop for us to get that cash. So please support our guy. And can't wait to rock with you in this live stream here in a little bit. Thank you for rocking with us. Any last words for the Cappers Sporting Show?
No, let's cash some tickets. Let's dominate the board. And as always, let's keep dancing. Bang.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. All right, let's roll on. Your next guest, the star of the hit show, the Die Hard MMA podcast here on our channel. And he goes for big scores. Our guy, Clint, goes for big scores. And he was in the black after his first 2 weeks on the show. He went for some mighty big scores in week 6 here and got hurt by them. So, you know, he's one big score from being in the top 5. That's the way he works. You guys watch him. You guys watch him rip his shirt off when he gets these big scores. He goes for he doesn't just take small jumps, man. This guy wants to clear 100 feet on a jump, spin around, drop a 360 on it. So please welcome the star of the Die Hard MMA podcast. Can't wait to hear his action here on the show, Mr. Clint McLean. Clint, how are you, my friend?
Good morning, Jimmy. I'm doing well. How are you today, my friend?
I am excellent. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped up. And all these guys, all these great cappers, all these great friends of mine being on this stream and in the chat, like this is pretty much heaven for me. And knowing that we have these 2 games to rock live, and I know that you're going to try to jump in. You got a big prep work, and we'll talk about what's on the Die Hard MMA podcast tomorrow, right at the end here. But this is heaven to me. This is as much fun as life gets today. I also want to know how you're going to fill your pockets, because you have delivered some of the biggest scores on our live streams in the history of Pub Sports Radio, in our football live streams in the history of Pub Sports Radio. What do you have planned for pre-flop action here in the Chiefs Ravens, my friend? Take it away.
I have a reputation to uphold, Jimmy, and I will not disappoint. So, to get us kicked off here on this first game, I think this is going to be a bit of a QB duel. I think the defenses are going to be very engaged early, and the quarterbacks are going to have to save this game with their legs. So I got Lamar Jackson over 65.5 rush yards. That was just taken off the board. I'm seeing 66.5 now. That number is climbing. So I do think Lamar is going to have to use those legs today. And at 66.5, I still would take it. However, obviously, the higher it gets, the harder it is to suggest because you need those extra couple of yards. And the exact same thing happened to me, Jimmy, with Patrick Mahomes, because he's going to have to pull the exact same thing as Lamar. They're going to lock down his weapons. He's only got 2 of them anyway. And then he's going to have to use his legs to salvage this game. So I believe I got 25.5 on Mahomes. He's all the way up to 27.5 now at a -120. Again, 1 yard or 2, okay, I'll take it. Every once in a while, that damn hook burns you, especially if there's a kneel down or something at the end of the game. But I'm going to be going with both QB rushing yards here in this first game, Jimmy.
What was the number here? Sorry, I just had to mention that Mahomes' wife looks like Jerry Seinfeld. And when you really picture it, you'll never forget it. She looks exactly like Jerry Seinfeld. And I mean, exactly like Jerry Seinfeld. We got over 65.5 rush yards for Lamar Jackson. What do we have for Mahomes?
I'll just take the current number to over 27.5 -120. I don't want to give stale lines out, Jimmy.
I respect that, my friend. So we'll give you the 66.5, even though you got 65.5. I respect everything about how you handle your business. Let's roll on. What else do you have for Chiefs Ravens?
Well, I have a money line parlay that'll roll into the second game of the evening. And sometimes I like to say, Jimmy, that square is sharp. And I think the favorites roll here this week. I'm going to go ahead and money line parlay up the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. Again, this is something I did earlier in the week, so I did manage to get like even money on it. Right now, current odds, you can get -109 on this one. I wouldn't be shocked at all if there's a late pass interference call that the officials do everything they can to keep the Chiefs in this game. I don't know that it'll be a blowout, but I'm going money line to just secure that Ravens first leg. And then I'm going to anchor that on the 49ers because I do believe that the Lions are a bit of smoke and mirrors. And I think the 49ers had a bad start last week. They're going to have a full prepared slate today. They won't be knocking off any ring rust. They'll be coming out fired up and ready to show that they are the caliber there in that division. So I think the favorites both win this week.
Ravens 49ers moneyline parlay. What else do you have in store for 49ers Lions?
You know what, Jimmy? I'll be honest with you. I've got one other thing for you for the afternoon game, and then I got to circle back over to the early game to go ahead and close out my action for the day. The last thing on the evening game here, Lions and 49ers, I went with Jahmyr Gibbs, 25 plus receiving yards. That is a -110 number on DraftKings, I believe. Let me just make sure it's still there. Yes, it is. 25 plus receiving yards at -110. I think that the 49ers are going to be in the lead. I believe that that's going to force the Detroit Lions to throw the ball, and you're not always going to be able to find Amon-Ra St. Brown. And when that happens, they have Gibbs on the field. He is the receiving back, and with just 1 or 2 catches, he can get up to this 25 number. I like that spot because I do think Gibbs will be in the game more often, and I do believe that the Lions will be chasing.
Jahmyr Gibbs, it's great. It gives us also fodder for our late show. Jahmyr Gibbs over 25.5 receiving yards. Anything else you're looking at for Lions Niners?
Nothing else for Lions Niners, Jimmy. That is it. But I've got one more play for you guys. It is the early slate, but I got to end with the big one. All right. Like I mentioned, I've got a reputation to uphold. I built a same game parlay for the first day game here. Chiefs versus Ravens. We are going Lamar anytime touchdown, Pacheco anytime touchdown, Isaiah Likely over 22.5 receiving yards, Travis Kelce over 50 plus 49.5 receiving yards, and then Lamar Jackson 70 plus rush yards. Jimmy, that is 19-1, and that's what I'm rocking with for my early day same game parlay.
Over 70.5 rush. I missed one there. So I've got Jackson anytime touchdown, Jackson over 70.5, Likely over 22.5, Kelce over 49.5. I missed the second one. What was it?
Pacheco touchdown.
Anytime touchdown. I love it. And that was
you
number?
Don't even need a money line, Jimmy. That's just all player props. Anybody can win that game, and I can still cash that same game parlay.
What was that number, my man?
19-1.
1,600. You are in business, my friend. Jackson, Pacheco, likely Kelsey. We'll go over that before our game in our live stream, but we got to move forward. Please, though, tell us what's going on tomorrow on the Die Hard MMA podcast.
Yes, sir. Die Hard MMA podcast tomorrow. The UFC is back. We've got 9 straight weeks of UFC action. No more of these damn break weeks when we got nothing to talk about, Jimmy. I'm excited. This first card is a little rough, I'll be honest with you. The first one back always is, but the next couple of cards are absolutely stacked. UFC 298, 299, 300. They are absolutely stacked, and I have a February lineup for you all on the Die Hard MMA podcast that I believe is my strongest 4 weeks of guests in a row. So you guys are not gonna want to miss the next 4 or 5 episodes of the Die Hard MMA podcast, because I've got some big names, some solid faces, and I'm very excited to break down these next couple of events for you all here Monday nights every week.
I love it, Clint. Love watching you rock, my friend. This year we go back for the drive for 100+ units. It was so much fun to watch that ride last year. We do it again this year, 2024, in business with us. Please support the Die Hard MMA podcast here on the channel every Monday night, and of course our guy Clint on X at Die Hard MMA POD. We love you, dude. Any last words for the Capper supporting the show?
Nope, that's it. Good luck, everybody. Don't go nuts. There's only 2 games today. I know we all want to bet on all of them, but try to remember your bankroll management. Don't go broke betting football today if there's not something you absolutely love. Kick some ass, make some money, and hopefully I can break away to jump on one of these live streams with you guys here today. Jimmy, good luck, everybody.
I love it. There he is, Clint Star of the Die Hard MMA podcast. We bring in our next guest. He had 1 week as the #1 capper on NFL PubHub. And, the 2 of the 3 guys he was battling had just, the best 2 weeks in the history of NFL PubHub. But one thing that has rocked me while I've tracked your next guest is how clean he keeps his action. He has a plan and he stays within it. And his success rate on the show is really unparalleled with the consistency. This is going to be his 12th time on the show this year. That's right. Yeah, 12th time on the show this year. And his worst show with us was 2-3 minus 1.25 units. He has swept the board on 3 of these 11 shows. In the playoffs, he's 10-5 plus 4.87 units. And he just keeps it clean. And it's something that I'm recognizing and trying to emulate myself. Please welcome star of Brothers in Bets, coming to us from Houston, Texas, our guy and yours, Marley Betts. Marley, what's good, man? How are you?
Yo, what's the deal? Let's get it. I'm a little sauce, Jimmy. Shout out Razor.
Good, yeah, get that drink in you. Jesse Shule says, don't bullshit us. Sean Higgs is the best. Sean Higgs is now in first, but he did have to get past Marley Betts, who's 34-17 plus 16.34 units. And look, you'll never hear a bad thing out of my mouth about Mr. Sean Higgs, but you got to give respect where it's due, and it's due right here with Marley Betts. Marley, let's get right into it. We got to hammer away. What's your plan for Chiefs Ravens?
All right, I'm on a couple different things on this Chiefs Ravens game. So one thing I do a lot is before I actually cap the game, Jimmy, I look at the lines and sometimes I make some bets, just gut feel, before I let the numbers kind of skew me one way or the other. So I did that for this game. I did a little 2-team parlay. I haven't done this on the show before, but off the rip, I saw it. I liked it. I didn't like the 3.5 when it opened, so I did money line parlay with the Lions plus the 7.5. I think is it still 7.5 or is it 7 right now?
It's in between. But if we were going to give you that right now, here, let me just do that. Right now, the Ravens money line with the Lions plus 7.5 would give you a plus 180.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's available at this minute on Pinnacle. Lions plus 7.5. Ravens money line is a plus 1 80. Keep rolling, man.
right.
You can touch more on this point or move on to your next, whatever you'd like.
No, we'll keep it going. So that's gut feel when I see the lines, when I see the game, just how I feel before doing any breakdowns. I'm still on the Ravens. I'm sorry, I didn't mean move on, but I mean like
No, it's good. Do your thing.
with that particular pick. But back to the Ravens game. If it ain't broke, I said this last week. If it ain't broke, we ain't gonna try to mess with it. We gonna leave it keep rocking. First half, team total, Kansas City Chiefs over 9.5. I'm from Houston. Houston can get 10. Kansas City can get 10. I know this defense with Baltimore has been talked about all day. I'm gonna talk about it as well. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. Everybody's talked about it. Number one scoring defense. Number one against the pass, top 5 in the run. They do everything well. So we know that. But I feel again, Texans can get 10 points. The Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes can give us 10 points. We're talking about a touchdown and a field goal. Anytime I see 9, 9.5, 7, most of the time I'm jumping on it, Jimmy. It's just kind of my theme right now. We're also on team total over for the Ravens full game. I called it at 24.5. Not sure what it is currently, but that's what I called it at. Now, look,
jump in.
I know we're going to talk about the Chiefs defense, right? And you know how good they've been throughout the season. Again, Buffalo put up, 24 on them, I think. 24-27 was their final. This defense can be had. I personally feel like just watching that Buffalo game, the Buffalo game in particular, Buffalo's coordinators let the Buffalo down, let the Buffalo offense down with their play calling and being scared to put the ball in Josh Allen's hands, being scared to not run Josh Allen when he was like dominating the game in certain aspects and certain points of the game. That's not going to happen with the Ravens. Lamar is the ultimate weapon, especially when it comes to his feet. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now to Coach and a couple other guys. I'm not sure if I said it on the show. If Lamar is playing well, the way he's been playing throughout the season, they're going to win. And I feel that way just throughout the year. The game is on Lamar. I don't think it's nothing that, no offense to Patrick Mahomes, I said last week, he's the greatest quarterback of our generation. I still believe that he might be the best quarterback ever if you look at statistically, if he stays on the trajectory that he's on. Because his 6 years compared to Brady's first 6 years, not even close. So, yeah. I know we kind of get enamored with Brady in the 6 Super Bowls, and he is the best quarterback ever currently. But as far as Mahomes' trajectory right now, not even close with the numbers. If he gets the Super Bowls, it won't even be anywhere near close. But we're talking about today. And Jimmy, I don't know who your favorite quarterback is. I'm not sure about the chat, but everybody think about your favorite quarterback of all time ever in the NFL.
Dave Craig.
Understand, he didn't win them all. I don't care if it's Brady. I don't care if it's Brady. I don't care if it's Elway, Marino. Marino didn't win any of them, but Marino, Manning, whoever you got as your choice, understand they didn't win them all. And personally, I just feel like, man, this is Lamar Jackson's. This year, it's just his year, and that's just what it is. With that defense and that offense, as long as Lamar plays the way he's been playing, they're going to win the game. When I saw the line at 3.5, although I kind of was a little hesitant, you know what I'm saying, just because probably betting against Mahomes. However, I think they win by more than a touchdown or at least a touchdown. That's just how I feel. You know what I mean? I don't think the Chiefs defense can stop this offense when they're clicking on all cylinders. I just don't see it happening. And I definitely said this last week. Compared into years past, Lamar got weapons. I don't know if everybody's paying attention to Zay Flowers and his talent. I don't know if we're just looking at the numbers and not actually seeing the guy on the field. This guy is talented. And then you still have Bateman, first-round draft pick, who was just hurt last year. He's also talented. And then you got Odell. Yes, Odell is not Odell that was with the Giants making the spectacular catches and, all the numbers, but he is still a very good number 2 to have. On top of, I said this last week too, Likely is a guy. Like, I know we don't really know who he is. He came in behind Andrews, but Likely is a guy. Understand that. So I got Likely anytime touchdown prop. I also have Andrews any touchdown prop because he's coming back. I just don't know who's going to get the bulk of the playing time and how much each one or Andrews will play based off coming back from the injury. So I took them both. But we know Lamar Jackson he hits his tight ends. And I say that to say he has weapons everywhere across the field. I'm also on the Ravens minus the 4.5. Along with that, I'm all over this game, I know. But Jimmy, I can't see this defense after what I saw them do against the Chiefs. I feel like I got this game at 27-21, but the rain kind of probably screwed that a little bit. So I did make a move, Jimmy, on the over, but that was before I checked the weather. So I don't want to give this as a play on the show, but it is a play that I do have.
There are big numbers here on Likely and Andrews, plus 258 and plus 205.
Oh, it's
so
come down. I got it at 300 for Likely. And then,
wow.
Andrews is 200, but I got Likely at plus 300.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to switch Jose's to 205 and 258. They're available right now here at Pinnacle. Let's review our guy Marley's action here. And this is the highest quantity of action he's had I still got Detroit plays. Though. Of course. Yeah, no, of course. But this is the highest quantity of action he's had in a game through this is 12th show now. Ravens money line lines plus 7.5 plus 180. Chiefs first half team total over 9.5 minus 114. Ravens team total over 24.5 plus 101. Likely anytime touchdown plus 258. Andrews anytime touchdown plus 205. You are in business, Marley. What's next for Lions Niners?
All right, I don't got as many plays on the Lions as I do the. Sweet. I got the Lions on the spread 7. I got the 7. When I first saw it, I thought it was way too many points. I don't know if we're still underestimating the Lions or Dan Campbell. I've said on this week a couple show the only thing that's kept me off the Lions was really Dan Campbell. But if you look at the playoffs, he's taken a couple risks, but he hasn't been as risky as he's been throughout the season, in my opinion. So I'm on a 7.5, and my main thing is this. The 49ers could win this game. I don't think they cover by any chance. I actually sprinkled a bit on the money line, Jimmy, or I haven't yet, but I'm going to. But I'm not. I'm just telling people what I'm doing. I'm not giving that as the show play. The play is the 7. And I'm sorry. Also, first half. We're not. If it's not broke, we're not going to fix it, Jimmy. First half team total over Lions. I think I caught it at. Let me look at my plays. I'm not sure what I caught it. I think it's at 12.5, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm going to grab it right now, see what Pinnacle is offering the Lions first half team total over.
9.5 is what I caught it at.
It's important to recognize what cappers are doing to succeed. And we all have noticed Lions, or you're taking the dogs first half team total overs and catching with them. This is a very, very juiced team total right now because the total's gone up. So this 9.5 is minus 157.
I'll still take it, Jimmy. I don't love the juice at all, but
you weren't afraid of the juice last week on the line on the first half team totals, and you cashed them. So
right. I don't know. You know what? Honestly, Jimmy, I started doing it when the playoffs hit. I wasn't doing it in the regular season, but those lines just started jumping out at me and fucking screaming my name. Like I said earlier, anytime I see a 9.5, I think I've only taken the Lions. That's the only team I've taken that's been over 9.5. But I love their offense. So, but anytime I see a 9.5 first half, for the most part, unless the offense is just terrible, I'm all over it, and that's something I'm going to take into next season. I wish I would have caught it earlier. So, but yeah, we're on the Lions. First half team total over. It's still 9.5. 9.5. We're going to take that. We're on the 7. Reason is this. The 49ers, in my opinion, the defense is not what the defense has been past couple of years. They're still very good. I still believe Warner is the best middle linebacker in football. But I think Green Bay showed us that they can be scored upon. And I think the Lions offense is just as good, if not better, than the Lions. They can run it with Montgomery or Dibbs. You still got Amon St-Rob on the outside. I like Goff. I think we underestimate Goff. I think we forget that Goff has been here before. This may be the Lions' first time Goff has played in a Super Bowl. He lost, but he's been there. I don't think this moment is too big for him. I think Dan Campbell has this team believing in themselves. I think San Francisco is a little shaky. And I think if they get down that panic button, they might be tapping that panic button just a little bit. And the fact that Debo is one big shoulder hit away from being out of the game, one wrong landing on his shoulder too hard. And I'm a football player. If I play football, we going at that shoulder every time. Every time I'm trying to hit that shoulder, every single chance I get, if I can slam him on that shoulder, I'm going to slam him on that shoulder. Anytime I get a shot on that shoulder, I'm taking it to take him out, because when he went out last week, that offense did not look the same. And I personally, I'm not a Birdie hater. I think he's done phenomenal, but I'm still not sure of what he is. I don't know if that's Shanahan. I don't know if it's all the weapons he has behind him. I don't know if it's him. I'm not sure about him yet. So with that being said, like I said, I'm on the Lions plus the 7. Those are my reasons why. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line. I haven't yet, but I'm waiting. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on there, though.
You are in a business, my friend, in business. Currently ranked 2nd out of 28 cappers. Can you believe this man's done 11 shows here with us? And his worst show is 2 and 3 minus 1.25 units. He swept the board 3 of the 11 shows. Very, very impressive work. And you can see more of that impressive work if you follow Brothers and Bets, subscribe to their YouTube channel, and follow our guy, Marley.
Send me the link, man. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay, but I'm definitely going to jump on the live stream.
Which game?
The first game, the Chiefs and the Ravens.
Okay, done. Locked in, done. So we have Marley on Ravens, Lions plus 7.5 plus 180. Chiefs first half team total over 9.5 minus 114. Ravens team total over 24.5 plus 101. These are all lines available at the second. Likely anytime touchdown plus 258. Andrews anytime touchdown plus 205. Then in the Lions-Niners game, Lions plus 7.5 minus 109. And Lions first half team total over 9.5 minus 157. Thank you for all you've done here for the show. Love watching your work. Can't wait to roll you a Palooza in San Antonio. Please give our love to Coach. By the way, Marley came right here from coaching 7-on-7 football.
Yeah. My 8U won the championship. My son won defensive MVP of the tournament. Our 10U lost, but still a great day.
You are leading by example, Marley, and we love working with you, man. Any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
Man, always, as usual, let's beat Vegas.
There he is, our guy, Marley Betts. Let's move on to our next guest. You will also see him on our 49ers live stream right here, because the 49ers are very near and dear to our heart. Star of Nerd Talk on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Friday nights on the Picks from Dave YouTube channel. Now making his home in Arizona by way of California. Please welcome Mr. Dave Rogers to the show. Dave, how are you, my friend?
I'm great, Jimmy. How you doing?
I'm so excited about these games, man. I'm so excited about these games. Thank you for your patience. We're running way behind, so thank you for your patience. As always, I apologize for the late start here. Take it away, Dave. Chiefs, Ravens, what's your plan?
Yeah, so I found these two games to be sort of actually extremely difficult to get onto. So I don't have a straight bet. I have 3 bets, and 2 of them are 2-leg parlays, and I don't have a straight bet in this game. I guess what I would say about this game is that the Ravens, to me, are the scariest team in the NFL, but Patrick Mahomes is the scariest player in the NFL to me. So that's why this game, I did a gun to my head bet, and I'll just jump right into it. I know we're behind. So I did what Clint did, and I've never done this. I money lined Baltimore and San Francisco, both number 1 seeds, at minus 115. He got minus 109, so I'll take that number. That's fine. But for the show, I bet it at minus 115. Finally, one time on your show, the odds are in my favor, because usually it's the other way. COV be damned. But I don't see how the favorites don't win. I actually don't think either of them cover. That this was my dilemma. But I can't imagine the Ravens not beating the Chiefs and the Niners not beating the Lions. So I have a favorite the square ass play of the day, Baltimore and San Francisco to win on the money line, minus 115. Also in this game, I wondered how Kansas City was going to score. Baltimore is so good on in both aspects of defense, rush defense and pass defense. But I just went back to the well, and I parlayed another parlay in this game. Isaiah Pacheco, anytime TD, is a part of that parlay. The other one is Christian McCaffrey over 77.5 rushing yards, which he's done 6 of the last 7 games. He didn't do it last game. I think he's just jumping right back in there, and I got that at plus 210. So those are the only pieces of those are the only bets I have in the game, but they're pieces of another puzzle. They're not single, standout bets.
Pacheco anytime touchdown. CMC was over 78.5.
77.5.
77.5 at plus 210 with the Ravens 49ers money line parlay. So that's what you're going into tonight's action with, and then
I'll throw it in. I know this is how confused I was with trying to bet this card, and so we don't put the graphic up below. But in the night game, in the prime time game, Dave is going back to where he's been all season, and that's the under. I got it at 52. I didn't even check to see if it's moved. Sorry. Ramon, if you have
2.5 now.
Okay,
it's gone up 1.5 against me.
Doesn't scare me. You know me with unders, and chat. If you haven't watched me, it's just been a thing for 2 seasons. The primetime unders are a thing. Inexplicably, it doesn't matter. I'm always on them. It's an auto bet for me.
Yeah, I mean, I bet it at 51 like an ass clown. I even said that I should probably wait on this, but I just thought with the Lions' inability to succeed offensively outdoors, I should have waited. Now I'm going to be hammering this live, and it's part of my SGP as well. I'll talk about the SGPs on the live streams, but I'm right with you. So Detroit, San Francisco under 52.5. Pacheco anytime touchdown. CMC over 77.5. That's a parlay at plus 210, and Ravens 49ers at minus 109. Dave, 8th out of 28 cappers here on our show, 22 and 19 plus 0.38 units. Only 8 cappers of the 28 that we've had on our show are in the black, Dave being one of them. Excellent work, Dave. Anything else that you got for the show? Or are you going to just rock with us live?
I'll rock with you live. I'll be there. I'll be there. Be square, and we're gonna get to another Super Bowl. I mean, to me, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it. One step at a time. We're gonna beat the Lions. We'll go to the Super Bowl. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm right with you. And please follow our guy Dave on X, Picks from Dave, and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Dave, any last words for the Capper Sport and Show?
That's it. Let's move on to the next guy. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Jimmy. Shout out to Ramon. We'll see you in a few hours.
There he is, Dave Rogers. Now we do have reverse sweep Ramon on the 1s and 2s here. We also have another Ramon here, and he was in the top 5 this season all year long until playoffs came. Playoffs reared their ugly head, and it's hurt him. And we expect him to bounce back here in the conference final. Still time to get back in the black, but these the conference and divisional have hurt him. We love capping with him. He'll be a part of our big live stream for Chiefs Ravens. Please welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada, star of the morning steam show on Tony's Picks, our friend Ramon Scott.
Number 4, Ramon Scott. He knows about poker. He's a dealer.
Ramon, what's happening, my friend?
Okay, Jimmy, I get it. Maybe I'm not playoff clutch, but I'm certainly alive in our confidence pool with you, with Jose, with Ramon, and interestingly, came up with the same exact picks and the same confidence level as ultimate game master Jimmy the Bag. So great minds think alike, sir. Guess we'll just have to see it play out because there are a few other things that could happen with some other guys, but we're right there, and we'll see.
We will see. It's been a lot of fun. This is our first foray into the confidence pool, and I've enjoyed it very, very, very much. Ramon, take it away. How are you getting paid? We're going to hear, this will give us fodder for our live stream, of course, my friend, that you'll be a part of. Take it away. What's your plan for Ravens Chiefs?
Yeah, it'll be great to be with you. Honest to be with you here, Jimmy. Honored to be with you on your playoff Hub here. So I'm rolling with those favorites. I mean, can't not go with what we have in the confidence pool. The numbers there were on the Ravens, of course, laying points in the first game, and going to go with the same in the second game. Not as the plays here. That's just what I'm on. I'm on the record pretty much everywhere. We're rolling with favorites to cover here this week. And how are they going to do it? For the Ravens, I'm going to start with the return of Mark Andrews. It is the favorite target, of course, of Jackson. And while likely has done a great job in his absence and certainly could be targeted today, if Andrews is on a quote unquote pitch count, I'm still going to roll with him to go over 39.5 receiving yards at plus 130. I don't think Jackson can help himself when it comes to his all-time favorite receiver. I would think back in the lineup, Andrews, just give him a couple of opportunities. Yeah, likely he's going to be a great reserve to get in there, but I like Andrews to get this number here at 39.5. Could be a big day, I would think, for the tight ends against Kansas City. I'm also going to look for JT, who's one of my few winners here, Jimmy, over the last couple of weeks, but I'll look for Tucker to make a difference here in this game. Over 7.5 points for Justin Tucker at minus 120. For me, the key, the Ravens defense. You've heard the cappers talk about them plenty. So I'm going against Patrick Mahomes in this game, and I think that's where the differences will be here. And I'm going to go under 229 passing yards for Patrick in this one at plus $1.30. So I'm going to take his number down, get a little bit better return here. Look, Pacheco, if he is healthy, I mean, who thought he was kind of hurt or banged up necessarily, but I'm concerned about the low volume of offense that we saw in last week's game from Kansas City, despite coming out on top. I think they ran just 47 plays in general. Now, maybe the game script could lead to things turning around, and if Mahomes does get, I don't know, upwards of close to 40 attempts, this juice down number might be in trouble a little bit, but I'm betting against Mahomes here in this one. I know everything about him on the road and everything. The first time, Jimmy, that Mahomes has been a dog of 3 or more points in 73 starts. So we know his successes as a road dog, but this is a little bit unprecedented. It was week 3 of 2018, the last time he was getting this many points on the road. The little bit of inflated number here now with the news about Andrews, certainly, and don't forget some of the return for Baltimore as well on defense. So I'm going to go Rashee Rice under 52.5 receiving yards. Look, he was kind of the one who didn't get necessarily involved like they wanted to last week. And I don't know, he was up against Jackson. Should have been a better matchup. Now, maybe it just didn't work out game script wise, but if Hamilton is back and he's healthy, forget it. I mean, I don't think Rice has a great matchup at all here with a healthy Hamilton in there for Baltimore. So Rice under 52.5 there, Jimmy. And I've got Justice Hill to be maybe the key guy in the game. Yeah, maybe Jackson. Look, Bobano, half the guys are on these rushing yards for Jackson, and I guess I could be too. But I'm going to look for Hill as the key guy in this one. Hill's been more efficient in the passing game, and yeah, KC's run defense is better than their pass defense. So I've got Hill to be more involved elsewhere. Over 53.5 rushing and receiving yards for Justice Hill. I've got him as a key player in this game. Bobano gave you his rushing yards over. I have respect for the Kansas City run defense. I do need him to get those 33 so yards that Bobano talked about, but I'll add the passing game in there. Give me over 53.5 rushing and receiving. I think that gives me 5 plays in the first game to join you with, and I'll have more later. You better believe it.
I love it. 5 spots here for our guy Ramon Scott. What was the juice on Rice?
Minus 115 on that one.
Minus 115, and the juice on Justice Hill over Justice Hill rushing receiving.
Hill's rushing receiving minus 115 at Bovada there.
You got it. Mark Andrews over 39.5 receiving yards at plus 130. Justin Tucker over 7.5 points at minus 120. Mahomes under 229 passing yards plus 130. Rasheed Rice under 52.5 receiving yards minus 115. Same juice for Justice Hill over 53.5 rush and receiving. That is the Ravens Chiefs spot, and Ramon will be live with us for that football game. Take it away for Detroit, San Francisco. Ramon, the floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, I'm rolling again, Jimmy, with the favorite to win the game here today. A lot of love and respect for all the Lions fans and everything that this run has meant to them right now. But I'm going to look the Lions not on their preferred surface, maybe a basic handicap to a certain extent, but everything that kind of goes into it. I look for Brock Purdy to have his maybe quote unquote coming out. Yeah, we all want to. I heard what the Dave and they were saying earlier about Purdy. What are we getting with Purdy? But I think this is it for Purdy. I think he's going to have the 300-yard game here in the big day in this one against the Lions. That pass defense, I continue to have major concerns. All the weapons back, whether they're banged up or not. There's so many of them. Jimmy Purdy over 291 passing yards leads it off for me here at plus 125. We're moving that up just a little bit. So I'm taking Purdy at plus over 291.5 at plus 125 and long completion over 40.5 yards at minus 125. I want to start off early with a winner tonight, hopefully, but he can do it somewhere in this game with all these options. I still believe that CMC, those numbers on his run game continue to get jacked up a little bit. And yeah, the Lions do have a pretty good run defense. So I'm strictly going with CMC's receiving yards here, Jimmy, at over 36.5 at minus 130. We know the Lions have a, pretty much a top rushing defense out there, but I like how they work CMC into those passes on the flat, especially at home. They seem to make use of that. That's what I'm talking about, kind of that turf, right? A little bit. That's more the game of the Niners here. And don't forget, man, the Niners, nobody's been to more championship games in the Super Bowl than the Niners. To me, also another big, if I've got Purdy's numbers going over, Jimmy, I've got the big game for Kittle. Bobano gave out the yardage over here, but I'm going to take it a step further. Look, if Otten can have a big game last week for him, right, with the 5 catches, I'm going to go over 95 yards for Kittle at plus $2. Jimmy, that was at BOL. But I've got Kittle to have the big game tonight with all these weapons. And look, I don't think Debo's going to be a decoy here, but I kind of agree. Like, he'll get in there and he's a madman. Anything could happen. He could get smashed up like a bad car accident, but he's not going to be holding back. I would think that's just not in his mentality, right? He's not going to get in there, I don't think, to run any routes, but enough. I don't have him on my list. I've got Brandon Ayuk as my ATD, Jimmy, for you today, plus $1.20 in this one is one more play. And you know what, Jimmy, that's what I was going to go with. But you know what, after reverse sweep Ramon, after what Jose said, and he could not remember my man Fred Warner's name, really maybe one of the most underrated defensive players in the entire league. I had to go with Fred Warner over 9 tackles and assists, 9 flat at plus 112. Put some respect on his name, Jose. Fred Warner, the man from Mission Hills High School. Really, I don't know. He's had some moments where he has stood out. I'm talking about on the big stage. Maybe Fred gets that big one moment. We saw him with a big turnover recently, but maybe he gets his one big, huge moment here. Fred Warner is one of my favorite guys, certainly. Over 9 flat tackles and assists at plus 112, Jimmy. And I love that San Francisco team total over, but that's what I'm going to go with here. Those plays. Did I just give 6 plays out? Let's do it.
You did 11 in total. I love it. What was the juice on the longest completion over 40.5? Was that minus 115?
Oh, 125, sir. Thank you.
Minus 125.
We
are in business. So in Niners, Lions, Ramon, Birdie over 291.5 passing yards plus 125. Long completion over 40.5 minus 125. C-Mac over 36.5 receiving yards. CMC at minus 130. Kittle over 95 receiving yards plus 200. Ayuk anytime touchdown plus 120. Fred Warner over 9 tackles and assists at plus 112. In the first game, which he will be live for us with, Justin Hill over 53.5 rushing receiving. Rashee Rice under 52.5 receiving. Mahomes under 229 passing. Justin Tucker over 7.5 points. And Mark Andrews over 39.5 receiving. The Mahomes under 229 alternate line at plus 130, as well as the Andrews alternate line at plus 130, over 39.5. Ramon, thank you for all your hard work. I can't wait to rock with you here in 30 minutes or less than. As soon as this show's over, I'll see you over there, my friend. Great work. Please support our guy, Ramon Scott, the Morning Steam Show on Tony's Picks, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. And Ramon, any last word? And on X, please, Ramon Scott Media for our guy. Ramon, any last words for the Capper supporting show?
Take care of it. I'll see you then. We'll have a great time. Just one thing on that Niners game and taking these favorites with you, Jimmy. But, NFL playoff dogs are great. But usually when they start to get more than a field goal, that's when you start to, drift back a little bit to those favorites, especially in the later rounds. So appreciate it, everybody. Thank you. Good luck, everyone.
There he is, Ramon Scott. Let's move on to our next guest. Of those of you in the wings, I apologize that the show's gone late. That is my fault. And thank you for your patience in the wings. And thank you for rocking with us here in the chat. Let's bring on your next guest. He is the star of Medicate Mondays, as well as our All About the Hoops Wednesday Night Live basketball show. You can catch him delivering college basketball picks on Betting with the Bag on Wednesday and Thursday, and then catch him alongside Connor Mack on our live NCAA basketball stream Saturdays at 11:45 a.m. Eastern, right after the Jeff Nadu college basketball show here on the channel. Please welcome from Dallas, Texas. You're going to get a chance to roll with him up. Public Scott, I can't wait. Please welcome Mr. Dabby Cap to the show. Dabby, how are you?
Man, Jimmy, it's our last day for a long time. Listen up, chat. A long time to have 2 football games in the same day. So soak it in and enjoy it because we're here for it. We got over 350 people in the chat right now, man. That's what's up. Hit that like button, man, and let's make some fucking money, Jimmy. I'm excited. I can't wait. That record, that's 1 week. That's some bullshit. We'd be in the black if I was here with you all year.
Oh, I know that. And we can fix that right here. Because you got 2 spots on the early game. So let's get right into it. You're going to be live with us here on Chiefs Ravens. Can't wait to spend the afternoon capping live with you. Take it away. What's your plan for Chiefs Ravens?
Man, so I tell you what, with this game right here, you've heard it from a lot of people. But one thing that I want to talk about is just how much money you've been making if you've been back in Baltimore, right? So I've been back in Baltimore in the first half this year. Anybody who followed me has seen it. Like I've been first half. I did not bet it last week, which they didn't cover last week. And the reason I didn't is because they didn't cover it the week when they had the bye. They came back from the bye week either. And since they only didn't cover it 4 times this season, that's 50% of the time that they're not covering off a week of rest. So I kind of was already like seeing that and stayed away. This week, I'm not staying away. I'm going in early just because I want to get a 3. I can't get a 2.5 anymore. But even full game, Baltimore's been the second best team in the NFL this year, covering spreads. They're only behind Detroit right here. And I get it. It's scary going against Mahomes. He's probably the best player in the NFL right now. He's that dude. He really is. But let's look at, the rest of the offense around him. We know the receivers aren't really, that great. Travis Kelce, he had the 2 touchdowns last week, but all season he's been a step behind this year. He hasn't been the same. We've seen it. He just hasn't been the same guy that he's been. And one of the biggest things in playoff games is going to be the turnover battle, right? Whoever wins the turnover battle very likely wins the football game here. And the Ravens throughout the season, they were a plus 12 in the turnover margin in the regular season. Whereas you look at the Chiefs, they were minus 11. Huge differential right there. I think that wins or loses this football game when we look at the turnovers. So I got the Ravens in the first half -3. I look for this defense to stand up here. And so one thing I did with props, I did take two props in this game, actually. I took Jackson over 1.5 touchdowns. He's got it 4 of the last 5 games, passing touchdowns. He's got it 4 of the last 5 games. And I think he's in a prime spot to get it here again. And I also took him 1 rushing touchdown. So anytime rushing touchdown, both of those are plus money, and he's going to get me one or the other. I expect fully to cash 2 of these bets at halftime. I had 2 out of these 3 bets.
And what was the juice? I know that you tweeted it out. What was the juice for the over 1.5 passing touchdowns?
Here, let me pull up my bets really quick for you.
And the rushing touchdowns, if you don't mind, if you give me
the passing touchdowns plus 130, the rushing touchdown plus 120.
Plus 120. You are in business. And Ravens first half -3 at -116. A 3-pack here for Dabby Cap, who will be rocking with us on our live stream. I know you haven't moved on anything in Lions 49ers, but let's just touch on it quickly. Was there anything that you had interest in? Was there anything you came close to, or was it just all about Ravens Chiefs for you?
I mean, I'm really excited about this first game, betting wise. The second game, I'm still excited to watch it. The Lions, man, I get it. They suck. They give how many 700 plus yards have they given up passing in the last 2 games? Their defense has not been good. But here's the thing: they've been doing that all year, and they still find a way to win football games. That's what's crazy. So even though they're getting, gashed, they're still winning. I get it. They gave up all those yards, but at the end of the game, what they also did was win. That means the defense makes the plays when it matters. That means, I don't know. This game from a betting standpoint. As far as a side, I'm staying away from it. I'll probably bet some props, especially, if I have a few drinks in the first stream and we're hanging around winning money. I'll probably get active in this somewhere, but I have nothing right now on this game.
No worries. Ravens first half -3. Lamar Jackson over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Lamar Jackson over a half rushing touchdown for Dabby Cap. And he'll be rocking with us here in 24 short minutes. We have kickoff in 24 minutes, so he'll be on our live stream
first half. You got that too, right?
Yeah, Ravens first half -3, -116. Absolutely. Thank you, Dabby Cab. Keep fighting the good fight, my man. Can't wait to spend the afternoon drinking and smoking and cashing with you. And please support Medicate Mondays. Medicate Mondays is in 21 hours from now, and the squad is just crushing it. So please support Medicate Mondays. Dabby Cab, any last word for the Capper supporting the show?
Oh, you gave it to him, man. I want to see you guys on Monday. It's at 11 a.m. Eastern. Tune in. We have a lot of fun. We laugh. That's the point. But we also win a lot of money, and that's the other point, right? We were up 7 units last week, and we plan on doing it again. Shout out to Mikey and Razor, Troutwham, LJ. They all crush it, man. My guy Dutch. Tune in with us on Monday. Jimmy, I'll see you in just a little bit, man.
Sounds great, Dabby Cab. It is time to bring on our leader. We've had 28 different cappers on this show, and your next guest is number 1 out of 28 cappers, and it's richly deserved. Now, you could say, yes, I mean, he had the second best week in the history of our show last week, and that's why he's in first, but that's not it. He has been so consistent. That's what we've seen from our leaders is consistency. His worst weekend. So we're sitting here now on week 10 for him. This is his 11th show with us. His very worst week with us is 2-3, down 1.3 units. In the playoffs, he is up over 15 units in 2 shows on this channel. He just is a must watch and a must listen. And he is the star of Midday Money and just a revelation here this season. He just so glad that he's rocking with us. He'll also be with us on the live stream. So please welcome, without further ado, the champ is here, Mr. Sean Higgs, to the show. Sean, how are you?
I gotta say, so after I did my Midday Money, I was setting up, putting in on a podcast for everything. So I jumped in, I caught the end of Mills, and then I saw Ramon and everybody, Guns, the whole crew. And then I got to come into you saying that, Jesse Shule saying that. Marley, I was like 3 behind him in Ragu, Marley. And I threw out some props last week. It was really good. That is not what I'm really great at. I'm more of a side total kind of guy. But hanging with you and the rest of the degenerates, like Dave, got me into this live stuff and player prop nonsense, and it paid off there. But all in all, I'm more of a side and total guy. So that was I do have 2 props for us today, but nothing like last week for a monster ladder play like that. So,
and that's what it was. It was Lamar Jackson laddered over 70, over 80, over 90, over 100. And when he was at 100, I was like, oh no, they're gonna get he's gonna kneel. And it never happened. He didn't have to kneel. And you got the cat.
I was worried. I kept looking back on Monday and Tuesday, like, did they adjust the rushing? Am I going to pay on this?
I did that too. I checked the next day too. I was like, did they adjust? Oh, I did the exact same thing. So funny. It extremely impressive. But to me, the most impressive thing is your consistency. Both you and Marley's consistency on the show. That's what I'm most impressed about. But let's get right to work, Sean. Let's get to the cash. And thank you guys for your patience as we run late on the show. Sean, take it away. You're going to be with us live for Ravens Chiefs. What's your plan?
All right. So again, not a lot of crazy stuff like last week. I'm going to go my favorite bet. And I don't know, we could, like, I was listening to Gun, so you could like level up on your unit play. But listen, last week was my big thing. I'm kind of a flat kind of better. I bet a lot of games. My favorite play today is Baltimore team total over 12.5. So it's 12.5 first half.
Yeah.
So I love that. So we're going to go there. We're going to go also Ravens team total 24 for the game. Might be 24.5 now. These are obviously different numbers. They move a little bit, but you know me, Jimmy, I'm just whatever they are, I'm sticking with them. I don't go changing, just like Billy Joel says.
And you're going to go to that Billy Joel concert in no time.
I am. It's in a couple weeks, a month away.
Over 12.5 first half right now at Pinnacle is minus 123. Ravens full game team total over, and I do believe it's a 24.5, but I could probably find it 24 because this 24.5 is a plus money proposition right now. So if anybody can go out there, because we got to be quick here, if anybody can go over there and find the full game, because right now it is plus 100 team total over 20.
That's fine. I'll do 24.5. Make it easy. I think they're scoring more down anyway, so no worries there. And the game over 44.5.
Damn, did not want to hear that. Talk to us about why you like the over.
I just think we're going to see some points here. As much as I'm an under KC kind of guy, Andy Reid is Andy Reid. Mahomes is Mahomes. As good as Baltimore has been, they can give up 20 points, but they can score 40. This offense is explosive. I just like the over for whatever. I know everybody's like, well, it's an underplay, this and that. It's defense.
It's been dropping.
I don't know. I can zigzag a little bit with the, I'm under here, I'm over there. I'm still sticking with my over. I got the over. I'm sticking with the over. And one last one here in this game.
Yeah, jump in.
This is a little crake right here. We're gonna go Ravens every quarter minus a half.
Ravens win every quarter.
Yeah, they were I think minus 113 or whatever they are. I got the Ravens we're winning everything. I'm going all. So this is not like a crazy ladder play with huge plus monies, but you know what? Cross those out, because that's gonna. If I split out on those, that just brings down that just makes it look like I put out a lot of nonsense. I don't want to do that here.
Okay.
Cross that up. I mean, you heard it. I mean, I mentioned it today in my little show and stuff, but whatever that. And a prop for this game, I want to go under 35.5 receiving yards for Mark Andrews. Or whatever it's at now.
We haven't heard that take yet. Under 30.
How? I mean, are they? The guy just got off the injured list. They're really going to hey, let's throw him the ball, 12 targets today? No, they'll work him back in.
That's an interesting take. Let's see what that would be available for right now over at Pinnacle. We got Son Dizzle in the house. Great to see you, Son Dizzle. We have Mark Andrews, and it dropped. Wow. So it's down to 32.5, and it's juiced to the under.
Yeah.
This could be extremely sharp look. Under 32.5 receiving yards at minus 116. Interesting take. Anything else you have for Chiefs Ravens?
I want to go Mahomes over rush yards. Because he's just going to take off. I think it's like 20. I don't know what it is now. Again, when it's 26.5 early when I find these things, but it is game time. So they do change and.
It is game time. So the Mahomes rush prop right now, come on, is Jesus. Here we go. Rush prop for Mahomes right now as we speak, 27.5.
That's fine. That's whatever.
Over 27.5 rush yards, minus 116. 5 spots on the board for our leader, Sean Higgs. Is that everything? We move on to the next game?
Next game.
Okay, so we have Ravens first half team total over 12.5. Ravens full game team total over 24.5. The over 43.5. It's dropped to 43.5 at Bet Online. The under 32.5 for Mark Andrews, and then Mahomes rushing over 27.5. What is next for you, my man, in Lions Niners?
I'm going to go under the game 52.5.
Yeah, I like that.
And then I have a anytime touchdown parlay. I can't believe I'm putting a parlay out here for the show, but I just really have a lot. I mean, if you guys want to check out YouTube, I put a bunch of player props up there. I got a lot in this game, some rush props. But for the show here, I'm going to go a Kittles Gibbs anytime touchdown It's 3-1. And Kittles, I think, is going to exploit the middle there. We got the banged up Debo, and I like a lot of the props for the 2 running backs for Detroit. I'll leave it at that. But this I'm going to go. It was 3-1. Anytime touchdown, Kittle and Gibbs, and then just under San Fran 52.5. So I got early again, not for the show. I took the Ravens at 3 early. I got San Fran 6.5. Those lines are long gone, but
Long gone, yeah.
I don't. The line is gone. I'll move on. We don't have to throw them out here in the show.
I love it. I love it. And you will be rocking with us on this live stream where you have 5 bets in play. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Catch Sean Higgs right here with us in Baltimore, Kansas City, in the Lions-Niners game, under 52.5 and anytime touchdown. A parlay, Kittles and Gibbs at plus 300. And what a performance you have delivered here this season. 43 and 32 plus 21.59 units, up over 15 units in the 2 playoff games. Let's see what he does here in the conference finals. Sean, thank you so much for everything that you've done for us here on the show.
Anytime. I'll see you in a bit, everybody.
Can't wait. There he is, Sean Higgs, star of Midday Money. Let's bring on your next guest. Your next guest has hit the highest moneyline dog bets on our show. He's 16 and 23, but he's just down 2.23 units. He was in the black before his last appearance, which I believe was for the wild card round. I don't have that in front of me, but we love capping with him. Star of the Earl Sports Bets YouTube channel. Please welcome the East Carolina Pirate, Mr. Nicholas Earl, to the show. Nick, how are you, my friend?
Doing good.
Let's roll. And Willie Gay will not play. He will not play. We knew he was going to be 100%, but now he will not be in the lineup. Nick, take it away. And thank you for your patience. Sorry we're running late. Take it away here for us in Ravens Chiefs.
Yeah, this is the game I feel I'm more invested in today. I was looking at third play in this one. I'm just going to stick to 2, though. I took the Ravens in the first half at -3, and I got the full game at -3.5 earlier in the week. I don't know what the numbers are now on that, but I got 3 and 3.5 for the first half full game here for the Baltimore Ravens. I also took them plus 185 to win the Super Bowl this week. I know that's probably not a play we'll track on here, though, because that'll be about a 2-week bet. But my idea behind taking them to win the Super Bowl is I hope the Lions win, and I'll be able to get like maybe plus 200 the other way at the Lions in the Super Bowl, have plus 185 with the Ravens, or regardless, if the Ravens win, I'll have a plus 185 money line ticket for the Super Bowl game. But I do like the Ravens in this spot. I think they're the more complete team at this moment. When you look at the defense that the Chiefs have to go up against this week, it's not the banged up Bills defense that it was last week where they dressed 4 linebackers and one got injured during the game, and we saw the Chiefs do whatever they wanted on offense with a banged up defense that the Bills had. This is a different defense. This is a more complete defense. It's a more healthier defense, and I think they're going to be able to slow down the Chiefs. I was hoping that third play I was looking at, I was hoping for a 21.5 type of number there with the Chiefs. At 20.5, I have no interest in that team total under because I can see this being 27-21, something along those lines. But I did take the Ravens first half and full game for this one as well.
Let's lock this in. So Ravens first half -3, -115 available right now, and -4 is available. Is that okay? Do you mind taking the 4?
That's fine. They're going to win by touchdown anyway. They're good.
All right. So Ravens first half -3, -115. Ravens full game -4, -114. Is there anything else you're adding to this?
No, that's all.
A double up spot for Nicholas Earl on the Baltimore Ravens. I'm right with you on this. Let's move. And you didn't move on the double result. I guess you didn't want to have too much at that point.
I mean, it kind of is like a split bet double result type of game. So yeah, the first half full game. Yeah, that's probably the way that the double result works for me.
No, I feel you. Because I left the first half out of it. Because I would say I just took the double result at plus 105, and then I took the full game at -3.5. But that's similar sentiment. Nicholas Earl doubling up on the Ravens. Let's go to Lions 49ers. What's next for you?
Yeah, I really don't know too much, or not really looking too much at the side in this game. I think that because this 7 number is about spot on. I had this around 6.5, 7. So I guess it's a slight lean towards the Lions at this line, but I think the 7.5 tells you everything you need to know about this game. Staying off the side in this one here. I'll look at the total though in this one, and I got the first half over 25.5, the full game over 52 in this spot. With Debo back, I think that this San Francisco offense is going to be able to move the football. against this Lions defense, which has been a little bit better as of late, but on the road here, I think that the Niners will be able to get theirs. And I think the Lions will be able to put up points in this game as well. I see this something along the lines of 55, 57 points in this game. So I thought this number was a little low. I got it at, I think, 52. I waited a little bit too long into the week, but I still think there's value on the number here. So I'm on the first half over and the full game over here with the Lions and the Niners.
Wow. So here, you have a lot of options because it's gone up to 26 and right now. And I know that once you get over that 24.5 threshold, I mean, the difference is minimal. The over 24.5 is minus 129 at Pinnacle. The over 25.5 is just minus 125. The over 26 is minus 121. I mean, this is just flying toward the over. The over 26.5 is minus 115. Which one of those do you want?
It's going to be at least 14 at halftime. So I'm fine with the lowest juice there. You said 26.5 minus 110.
Well, no, I mean, if you want to keep going, you get the 27 at plus 101.
Let's go with that. I think it'll be 14 at halftime at minimum. So maybe 17-14. I think this will be a high scoring back and forth type of game.
Wow, that's wild. It's just skyrocketing right now. That's makes me very uncomfortable because I'm on the under and I don't like that. And then full game here, the 52.5 is minus 107, the 53 is plus 102. What would you prefer?
Dang, that's a 52.5 now. So the lines continue to move up. Yeah, I'll take the 52.5. It's fine.
52.5 at minus 107 for Nicholas Earl. The double up spot there. Anything else that you're adding on these bets?
That would be all for this one. Just the 4 plays for me.
Nicholas Earl, thank you so much for making time for us. Nicholas Earl on the double up Ravens first half and full game, and on the first half over and full game over here, and giving you lines that are available to bet right now. Nicholas Earl, thank you so much for your time. Please support the Earl Brothers Sports Betting Channel. What's in store for you guys this week over there?
Yeah, we're live every single morning, anywhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Earl Sports Bet Show. You can check us out there.
I love it. Earl Sports Bets. Nicholas Earl in business. Please support Earl Sports Bets on X as well. We have 2 cappers left before we head over to our live stream. Our live stream popping off in 8 minutes. Your next guest currently ranked 10th out of 28 cappers that we've had on the show. The star of Medicate Mondays and the co-host of our All About the Hoops Wednesday basketball show. And, of course, he's the star of NBA coverage on Betting with the Bag every Wednesday, and he has been crushing just a taint hair under 60% against the spread on the season. Please welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada, Mr. Dutch Boy Fresh. Dutch, what's good, my man? Thank you for your patience. Sorry that we started so late. How are you, my guy?
Jimmy the motherfucking bag. Yo, salute to you and all the real ones holding us down, man. Hey, who fucked up the rotation, Jimmy? Who fucked up the rotation? It's a dope-ass panel we got you put together here on a beautiful Sunday, but god damn it, some of these gentlemen need a motherfucking lady. They need a wife. They need a motherfucking mistress. Somebody to listen to their ass. God damn. But let's go. Let's get to the bag, my guy.
Let's get to the bag here. You're 9-9 on the show, down just a taint hair in the red. Strong day here. You'll be right in the top 5 here on NFL Pop-Up over the season-long performance. Take it away. What is your plan for Chiefs-Ravens?
Yeah, man. I'm going to keep it nice and tight for our guy, Doc. Happy birthday to him. Got you on ice for a little bit longer, my guy. We'll get to you, though. I really like this game a lot. I really do. I think today's going to be a very, very profitable day for me, Jim. I'm sure a lot of people have said a lot, but I haven't heard it. So I'm going to give you what I got. I'm on the Chiefs plus 4.5. I think it's real good money here, man. And what it comes down to is I believe this secondary for the Chiefs will show up. Obviously, maintaining Lamar Jackson in the pocket is very key. And we've seen it year after year. Make this guy beat you with his arm. This is the best running back in the NFL in Lamar Jackson playing quarterback. Can he play quarterback? Absolutely. Can he make all the throws? Absolutely not. And we will see an elite secondary take advantage, I believe, of a suspect quarterback when it comes to throwing the football. They do have some weapons with Beckham and Flowers and some tight ends. But I believe that this secondary will contain Lamar Jackson. Now, the last 4, the Chiefs are 7-2 straight up on the road. this year. So they've been a bet on team on the road this year. They play better football actually on the road, Jim. They're 4-2 ATS last 6 meetings versus the Ravens, and they're 4-1 straight up last 5. Now, the Chiefs D has allowed 83 yards per game to the wide receivers. That's in the last 4 weeks. That's second best in the NFL. So this to me is just a perfect matchup. All right. I'm not saying all we got to do, but you got to simply not let Lamar beat you with his legs. They've had Josh Allen, they had Tua, they played 2 really good quarterbacks, one elite in Josh Allen, in my opinion, in the last 2 weeks. 23 of 39, Josh Allen was 186 yards passing, a quarterback rating of 86.1. Then we look at Tua, 26 of 39, 199, quarterback rating of 63.9. I believe both of these boys throw the ball better from the pocket than Lamar Jackson does. That's their 4th ranked defense passing yards allowed. The Chiefs are at 176 passing yards per game. So you have an elite secondary when it comes to the numbers, and especially the last 4 weeks. I think they're going to simply shut Lamar Jackson down. I do believe he'll get some rushing yards because that's just what he does. But at the end of the day, he's not going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs with his arm. You're giving me 4.5 with the best quarterback on the field, with the better coach than Andy Reid, and just the good enough defense. All this talk about the Baltimore Ravens defense, well, the Chiefs defense is right fucking there with them and actually are better in some good statistic categories as well. They're right there against the, against the run. I just simply believe that the Chiefs getting 4.5, it's an auto bet, Jim. And everyone says it's so square. It's so square. More people on the fucking Ravens. Let me tell you this real quick. What I seen this morning. Circa. Everybody knows Circa, the big Circa here in Las Vegas, right downtown Las Vegas. And this is what all Ravens money. This is we're begging for a KC bet. This is from the @Circa Sports Director of Operations, Jeffrey Benson. That's what he said this morning. They're begging for a Kansas City bet because everyone in the fucking mom is on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Give me Kansas City plus 4.5. It's good money. I'm also on Pacheco over. I tweeted all these plays out very early this morning as well. I'm also on Pacheco over 63.5 rushing yards minus 120. On 19 attempts, 5.5 yards per carry, averaging 105 yards per game over the last 3. He's been running really hard, especially in these 2 playoff games, and he went for $130 against the Bengals second week to the last week of the season. Last 4 weeks versus the Ravens, 5.5 yards per carry on first downs. That's 4th worst in the NFL. So the Ravens on first down are allowing 5.5 yards per carry the last 4 weeks. Look Pacheco to run hard. He will be the most physical runner on the field. I believe he runs all over these boys. Najee Harris, 112 yards. A-Chain, 107. McCaffrey, 103. Those are 3 of the last 4 running backs that the Baltimore Ravens have faced. They've all eclipsed 100 yards. Obviously, Singletary last week with the Texans wasn't really on this level. Look for Pacheco to run all over the Baltimore Ravens. Over 63.5 is good money.
Pacheco over 63.5 rush yards. Chiefs plus 4.5 at minus 104. Dutch firing shots here. Do you have anything else on Chiefs Ravens, my man?
That's it, man. 2 plays.
2 spots for Dutch. Let's move on to Niners Lions here. Niners Lions. Floor is yours, my guy. What's your plan?
Yeah, the first game I believe is going to be a very competitive game, one that we can sit back and really enjoy for 4 quarters. And this game, I believe, will be over probably by mid-3rd quarter. Just being quite honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions, come out with a little bit of juice. But there's levels to this shit. And God damn it, the San Francisco 49ers are on a whole nother level than Detroit Lions. It was a sweet story. One hell of a job by Dan Campbell. One hell of a job by the GM there in the front office. Probably one of the best draft classes we'll see in recent history. And they've won 2 fucking games. They've handled business. Detroit is celebrated for 2 straight weeks. And it feels like the locker room, St. Brown, all these boys, if you listen to them talk, it sounds like they've already done something, Jim. Feels like they've already won this season. And let's be quite honest. Nobody expected Detroit Lions to get this far. Maybe outside of the Big Show and our boy Razor Sharp Picks. But they've done a lot. They've achieved a lot. And the story comes to an end in Frisco. It will be Bay business tonight. Believe that. The 49ers, -7, -120. It's good money, Jim. And what it is, man, it's the secondary, man. This secondary is fucking horrible for the Detroit Lions. They made Baker Mayfield look like Brett fucking Favre last week. Lions secondary allowed 716 yards 716 yards in 2 games to Matthew Stafford and Baker fucking Mayfield. 5 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. They did get Baker for 2 interceptions last week with that big one, obviously, in late fourth. I just think this is a perfect matchup, Jim, for the Niners, man. The Niners are 45, lead the league, number 1 in red zone touchdowns with 45. Lions bottom 5 in red zones allowed in the touchdown. Niners lead the league out of the shotgun, 9 yards per attempt, best in the NFL. The Lions allow 7.3 yards per attempt out of the shotgun. That's dead last in the NFL. Niners quarterbacks at home thrown for 2,437 yards this season at home. That's an average of 304 yards per game, second best in the NFL. So all this talk about Purdy not being the man, I mean, those are pretty good fucking numbers to me. I'm all over Frisco, -7, -120. Also love these 2 props here. Brock Purdy, I talked the shit. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Over 276 yards, -111. The stats I just gave you, back that fucking play up. And we're looking at Kittle over 58.5, -123. I really think this is the biggest fucking disadvantage in this game is that fucking offense with Kyle Shanahan against that secondary of the Detroit Lions. Ayuku should do his, but George Kittle definitely will get 60+ receiving yards. Cade Otton last week had 8 targets, 5 receptions, 65 yards for the Tampa Bay Bucks. And then obviously in round 1, Higbee went out. They had 2 attempts to this fucking guy, Davis Allen, for 28 yards. Matthew Stafford did. And now we're getting Kittle on the field. Going to be fucking free. Look for that middle to be wide the fuck open. George Kittle over 58.5 receiving yards. It's good money.
I love it. Dutch firing away. Kittle over 58.5 receiving yards. Purdy over 276.5 passing yards. 49ers -7 and -120. To further the issues with the Lions pass defense, and I said this off the top, but just one more time, quarterbacks this year versus the Lions have an average passing rating of 93.3 against them this year. Your average everyday ho-hum quarterback. That's a higher passing rating than Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Matt Stafford, and Josh Allen this year.
Talk that shit, Jim. There's levels to it. I'm telling you, the Lions are in big trouble.
I love it. And I know that you have a very busy day, but if you can jump on with us on either of the streams, we'd be the better for it. So
yeah, man, I'm gonna handle wifey duties early, and then I'll definitely vibe out with you a little bit later in the day.
Okay, so should I send you for the late game? Or
yeah, let's do late game.
Late game. Okay, cool.
I'm gonna be out for this game. I'm gonna be out, and then I'm gonna be home for the second one.
Okay, I'm just gonna put that note right
Sometimes
here.
when you try to say you're gonna go out for the second one, it doesn't happen, and then you hear about the next morning, so you get that shit out the way.
I love it, Dutch. Great job. You were just firing away. Respect. Thank you for your patience, too. Sorry we went late. Chiefs +4.5. Pacheco over 63.5 rush yards. 49ers -7. Purdy over 276.5 passing yards. Kittle over 58.5 receiving yards. Please follow our guy Dutch on X and support at Dutch Boy Fresh and Medicate Mondays. Just 20 hours away, and the squad's been killing it. Also, of course, All About the Hoops Wednesday night live stream. Check that out, and you get them every Wednesday on Betting with the Bag for NBA. Thank you, Dutch. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
Yeah, man, we got about 3:30 in here. All y'all run up them likes. Got to hit them like button, show the motherfucking love. Appreciate you, Jim, as always. I hope I'll see all you real motherfuckers bright and early, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, Medicate Mondays. Y'all stay fresh.
There he is, Dutch Boy Fresh. We have the perfect capper to close out the show. Our inaugural champion here on NFL Pop-Up, Season 1 champ. Season 2, he came in 4th place. And right now, in year 3, he is in 4th place. It takes the very, very best of us to be just to be in the running with him. But it's not about that. It's more that he runs with us. How fortunate we are that this guy runs with us. Not only that, it's his birthday, and he's making time for us here on Pub Sports Radio. I can't wait to hang out with him in Pub Palooza in San Antonio. It's worth the price of the ticket just to sit with our next guest. And please welcome from Ocala, Florida, by way of New York City, celebrating his birthday right now, and our headliner today. Please welcome the Big Ragu to the show. Doc.
What's up, baby dog? How we doing, James?
Good, buddy. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Kind words, everybody. The chat. I've been getting some love in the chat, love on Twitter. So definitely appreciate that, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, you deserve it, man. You really, really deserve it. But Doc, another thing that you do, 51 and 44 plus 11.38 units on the season, is you put cash in our pockets. The love is coming in from the chat, and it is richly deserved. But there's another job for you here, and that is to get that money. What's your plan for Chiefs Ravens?
Yeah, I'm not going to go over all the stats and all that nonsense, but we've had some fantastic cappers. Everybody giving all the reasons, both sides of the story. I'll give you some short stories on some of the stuff I'm going to be involved with here. Listen, a spectacular game on the first spot. Both games are going to be off the charts good today, I believe. I think in this particular game here, what I always say, I don't bet against Mahomes. I hate betting against Mahomes. He's kind of the Brady's passed the torch to this kid, and he's been nothing but spectacular, getting the 6 AFC championship games. And then Lamar's been waiting in the wings for a bit, and he's having his MVP season. So this is a clash of the Titans early on here, guys. And this game goes either way in my book. Realistically, a look that I like here a lot is I've looked at the Kansas City side in the first half. They've done nothing but either been ahead in games or been tied or been by 1 point down, except the Green Bay game where they kind of got beat up a little bit now when they were down like 14-6 in the first half there. But so I'm going to play a little bit of I know a lot of you guys are on the double result. I am too, but I'm going to take KC in the first half, and I'm going to take Baltimore in the second half at a plus 725 price right there.
Ooh, we have not heard that take yet.
Yeah,
double result.
Only because the way KC plays their first halves of football. I think it's going to be a lower scoring first half. Also, we've seen it happen not on the prime times, but we've seen some of these games where they've kind of their tale of two halves here. So I think this is one that they kind of shake themselves out early, and then I think Baltimore opens it up in the second half a little bit here. So also to play off of that, I like the Ravens. I'm not going to take them full game on the side, but I'm going to take them. That 4.5 has kind of got me tricked out a little bit here. I think they win it. I don't want to bet them on the money line, but I think they're as good as a field goal at least. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they win by margin because I do have a Super Bowl future bet with the Ravens and the Niners at plus 500 and plus 450. Either way, if the Ravens win, I think if it's plus 500 and if San Fran is plus 450. But I think today, for all intents and purposes, I'm going to be on the Ravens on the parlay -2 and over alternate numbers here, guys. -2 and over 46 plus 220.
Ravens -2 in the over 46 at plus 220.
Yeah.
For Doc. Anything else for Ravens Chiefs?
And I got a couple plays on the Chiefs side with TD props because I know Mahomes likes to spread the ball around quite a bit. And I'm looking at some B players here for some anytime touchdowns, just 2 of them, guys. So we talk about the doubles. How about double names here? Edwards-Helaire, anytime TD at plus 700, and Marquez Scantling at plus 820.
Edwards-Helaire and MVS. Edwards-Helaire was at plus
700.
And MVS was at
820. And then Mahomes, I got to take Mahomes at a touchdown. He's at plus 5.
Mahomes, anytime touchdown at plus 500. Big plus money spots for our big Ragu here. Plus 750 for Chiefs Ravens double result. Chiefs first half, Ravens full game. Ravens -2 and over 46 plus 220. Edwards-Helaire anytime touchdown plus 700. MVS anytime touchdown plus 820. And Mahomes anytime touchdown plus 500. Big shots for our big Ragu. Doc, let's get into Lions-Niners. Take it away. What's the plan
This
there?
is a more traditional play for me, guys, but I do have some props sprinkled in here. Hey, to me, like what Dutchie was saying and some of the others before him, talking about San Fran not sitting on the game, but not a coming out party. But, this team's been here and done it. They've been primed to do it all season long. They've been up and down the board a little bit. They're not the best at getting to the number. Obviously, they've had some struggles, 3-6 at the house, where the Lions have been fantastic at covering numbers. But they're getting on a slow track today. They're getting away from a dome. They had a big game last week, a big W there. So they've been trending in the right direction. But the 49ers have been kind of like creeping back in. I think they're playing coy a little bit, to be honest with you. I think those last few games down outside the playoffs, they did play the Ravens, where wasn't a great game for them there. And I don't think they were showing all their cards. Kind of like when the Giants were playing with New England. The Giants lost that and come back and beat New England in the Super Bowl. But they left everything on the table in that game. This game, I think Shanahan is trying to hold some cards close to his chest here. So I think we didn't see the best 49er look in that game, but I think we're going to see 49ers step forward in a big way today here. So I'm tripling up with the Niners here, guys. I'm going to have the Niners first half. I'm going to have the Niners full game, and I'm also going to have the Niners on an alternate number at -10 at +118.
-10 at +118. Let's lock in for our guy Ragu. The -10 we can get you at +127 right now at Pinnacle. So let's do that.
127. All right, that kind of I had that tied into a little bit of a smaller parlay, but I'll use the 118 I got for the parlay. You gave me the 127 for the show.
Do you want the full game at -7 at -121 or 7.5 at -102?
7.5. What was it? -7.
The -7 is -121.
Yeah, I would definitely take that. Yeah.
-7 at -121. And then the first half here, let's get that locked in. First half is, do you want -4 at -118 or 4.5 at 104?
Give me the 4.
-4 at -118. Triple up spot for Doc on the 49ers. And then you wanted to add a little bit of action.
Yeah.
What's next?
I got some other stuff. I got, of course, it wouldn't be prime time, which hopefully I'll be able to sneak on late with you guys after I have dinner with the family.
Oh, we'd love that. I didn't want to put pressure on you because I know that your family
I'm gonna
loves
make
you.
that happen. I'm gonna
Maybe as much as we do.
Mom's house and then jet back to the house.
Respect.
I get on second half with you guys, but all right. So I'm going to be on the prime time under like we've been doing all season long. Me, Dave, and I, and you, of course, we've been smashing them unders all season long. So why stop now? So let's roll with that 52.5 or what is it? 51.5.
52.5, and the 52.5 is now juiced.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. You could get under 53 at -114.
Yeah, by the time we kick off tonight, it's 53 easily. But for the show purposes, whatever you have, give me the 52.5 at the lower juice.
Okay. Locked in. Under 52.5 is available -103.
We'll do that one. And then I'm going to give you a couple props that I have. Goff in the 9 games in his career versus the Niners has thrown 7 picks. And I know this is juiced up a little bit, but I feel a pick coming for Goff. Hey, how do we beat the Lions? I'll tell you how you beat them. Put pressure on Goff. He's got the lowest quarterback rating in the league. You bring pressure. The Bucs didn't do it last game. I don't know why, but I think the Niners are not sitting home on this one. They bring the pressure to them. And I think it's more of a lopsided game down the road. That's why I kind of like the under 2 also. But, yeah, give me Goff on the INT prop over a half -140.
Over a half interception -140. Okay, keep rolling, my guy.
And then I got Debo anytime touchdown at +135.
Okay.
And our guy, Kittle, +130, baby.
Kittle, no.
And then I got a little bit of a different look than Dutch had. I got a yard stronger. I got 59.5 receiving yards at -115.
59.5 receiving yards -115. Okay.
And then the last thing I had was that I had the Niners at +118 at the -10, -115 on Kittle with the receiving yards over 59.5, and anytime touchdown Kittle +130 and the 3-teamer, and that paid me back 837.
Kittle anytime touchdown at +837. Wow, you have a bunch of bets that could get you right back on top here. So let's review the action for Doc on his birthday here. 49ers first half -4 -118. Full game -7 to -121. -10 +127. Under 52.5 -103. Goff interception at -140. Samuel anytime touchdown +135. Kittle anytime touchdown +130. Kittle over 59.5 receiving yards. And then the SGP 49ers -10. Kittle over 59.5. Kittle anytime touchdown, that's +8. 37. And a review of his Chiefs-Ravens action. He's got the double result. Chiefs-Ravens at plus 750. Ravens -2 in the over 46 at plus 220. Anytime touchdown, Edwards-Helaire at plus 700. MVS at plus 820. And Mahomes, anytime touchdown, plus 500. Doc, truly thank you for making time for us on your birthday. But more than that, thank you for just running with us. You bring so much to the table. And I can't wait for a huge group to be at Pubapalooza to get a chance to sit with you in person. That's
it's going to be a time, man. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm really excited. Look at our guy WT with a $10 dono. Says, "Let's crush the books. Happy birthday, Doc." He says he's the Jungle Bar here in Taramina Hotel and Casino. Oh man, I'm jealous. WT, respect and love. Says, "Let's crush the books and happy birthday, Doc." Blessing our action to put a bow on this. Truly happy birthday, and thank Kelly for giving us some time with you on your birthday.
Absolutely,
I know that,
man. I wouldn't have missed the show for the world today, guys. Whatever I had to do to get here. I got here late, but I'm here live in person. And let's cash some tickets, guys. Let's have a day.
You're a great guy. There he is, the Big Ragu. Please follow him at Big Ragu62 on X. All right, we're not going to do a review of all action here. We got to get over to our live stream, and I need to get up, put some ice in my drink, and get this party started myself. So we're just going to head right over to our live stream. That show will be on in 4 minutes. So at 10 to 3, we are 14 minutes away from kickoff. We'll go over my SGP and go over all of that. Thank you to everybody who was on the show today. What a special group we had. Bobano, Marley, Birdie, Mills, Brizzy, Jose, Guns, Clint, Dave Rogers, Ramon Scott, Dabra Cadabra, Mr. Sean Higgs, Nicholas Earl, a Dutch Boy Fresh, and the Big Ragu. But we truly have nothing without you guys in the chat. Thank you for supporting us and giving us a forum, because you guys do that for us, and we're so excited, and you inspire us. You truly inspire us to work harder and deliver. Bo Jackson, Jordan Nordman, my guy Nordy, Detroit versus everybody. Joe Yurkovich, Mike, Harold Williams, Andrew G, none your business. WT, thank you for the dono. Thank you for thinking of us. Doug, just my 2 cents. He's on the Lions money line. Tongue tied 89, 66. Slammy, Al Cervic, Velo Cuts, Jim W. Putt. Thank you for all that you do for us, Jim W. Putt. You put a lot of energy into us. It means so much. Real Deal Prime and all our shows. I love you. Rez Mob. Can't wait to roll with you in San Antonio. Caddy. Harold Williams, Troy Torrance, who's going to be a big part of our live stream. You're going to get Troy Torrance and Mikey Money's action right away. Big Show Picks, Joe Yurkovich, Jacqueline, RVD 420, Tacky JP, Kelly Vincenzo, Kevin Garrett's Gaming Heavy. Thank you, Brian Pacone. I wish I could give you guys all a shout out. Nuke Worker, The Fowlish Hound, Tacky JP, Wine Time. I wish I could give you all a shout out because you all deserve it. Truly, thank you. Now, let's get this fucking money. Let's get a drink in us. See you in 3 minutes, man. Let's get this fucking money. Jose, thank you for all you do, man. Leche!